Hello, everyone, and welcome to the finals of the Catfood Bowl 2026 Spring Bloom. My name is Tips and Tricks. I'm an English Reachy streamer and commentator. You can catch me at twitch.tv/tipsandtricks if I'm not on a Catfood Bowl. And alongside me is Tenhote. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's great to be here. My name is Tenhote. I am a Mahjong commentator and content creator. You can find me at youtube.com/@Tenhote and on Twitch as well under the same username, of course. Today, we're here for the Catfood Bowl Minor Spring Bloom Finals. It's going to be great. We have 4 excellent competitors. Super excited to be here. Tips, how you doing?
So I'm thinking a little rested from the day off yesterday. Hopefully everyone had a good weekend. Hey, yesterday's basically a weekend for all time zones, so don't have to worry about that. Hopefully that means all of our finalists are rested and ready for this finals setup. The format is essentially pretty similar, isn't it?
Yes, this tournament setup is, pretty similar to what we've seen the past couple days. We've had our scramble from top 100 and then to the quarterfinals at top 16 and then semifinals with top 8. And now we're in the finals. So we have our final 4 competitors. We have 3 games for you tonight, and the top competitor after all of those games are going to be your champion here. So we have had quite a bit of competition coming in from the semifinal. Those games had your top 4 set up by the different points that they scored in that. Those scores have been halved coming into tonight. So those scores will be here for that, but not a huge difference in between these players.
Yeah, even before the halving, the scores were really close. Almost didn't even need to have it, but the halving made them even closer. The semifinals games, especially game 3 of the semifinals, everyone moved closer to the middle. After game 2, there was a pretty big divide between 4th and 5th place, who would qualify, who wouldn't. But after game 3, the division in qualification was just 2 points. So it was a nail biter. And if that's any indication of what's going to happen today, you're all in for a treat, as well as us here on the casting booth. Just a reminder, 15-5 UMA. A lot of the rules pretty similar to ranked games, with 3 red 5s, open Tanyao, but big differences. No busting, and honestly, that is one of the only differences. Oh, and no multiple Yakuman, and no early draws. So you can't restart if you've got 9 terminals and honors, 9 Kokushi tiles. We did see some extra Kokushi attempts because of that rule, so can be interesting. Sometimes it's disappointing, but can make for some very exciting gameplay. No Yakuman yet this tournament. In the top 16, there was some in the scramble session. A lot of games played in the scramble session. Almost inevitable someone gets a Yakuman, but none in the top 16. However, we did have 3 different Yakuman Tenpai. So perhaps we will have someone finally cross the finish line today.
Yes, and of course, these are your 4 competitors. So you have KCOM Carlos here at number 1 at plus 21.33. During the quarterfinals and the semifinals, they were able to find Hanuman hands, and they are able to find these hands through quite a lot of Dora collecting and stuff like that. So you might see that kind of playstyle come out from KCOM Carlos today. And then in second, we have Ipa Furia, someone who I've definitely seen people rooting for in the crowd already at plus 18.05. Ipa Furia, definitely the underdog sort of coming into this match. Master 3 compared to the other Saint players here tonight, but that doesn't mean anything because they are a finalist, right? So if you're rooting for an underdog, Ipa Furia might be that person. And then in third, you have Link 18 at plus 13.8. During the semifinals, we saw a giant triple Ron, and Link 18 was a part of that. Always a part of the action is Link 18. Definitely going for Shadow Tenpai and stuff like that. Not always calling Ricci and stuff like that. A little bit of a sneakier playstyle, something to look out for there. And then Flandre at plus 8.95. Not out of the competition yet. And as Tips was saying, we haven't seen a Yakuman yet. And based on the statistics of these players, Flandre has the most Yakuman on the ranked ladder out of all these players. So if we see one, it might be from them. So that's your players. There you go.
That's an interesting fact to bring up. Flandre already had to make a lot of comebacks just to make it here in 4th place, coming in last place in the semifinals at the beginning. As well as in top 16, I believe Flandre was near the bottom. So a really strong but full of struggle run for Flandre. Ipafuria, as you mentioned, the only Master 3 in top 16, actually came out, I believe, in 1st place in the semifinals. It was somewhere, yeah, they were in 1st place coming into top 8. So Ipafuria making a strong statement for all the Master players out there right now. But as you mentioned, Carlos has been putting on a show, and Link has been doing a lot of work in the shadows, as you mentioned. And here's what they're all playing for. First prize here. The priority pass to the majors, the advanced tournaments, the big kahunas. First place will be automatically entered into those tourneys, as well as a $300 Amazon e-gift card, 10,000 Jade, a 30-day fortune charm, the limited portrait frame that nobody else receives, the physical trophy, and we've seen those pictures before, a very nice trophy, the special acrylic picture stand, and the limited Catfood Bowl champion title with the spring bloom aesthetic on it. Second place, we've got $150 Amazon e-gift card, 5,000 Jade, a fortune charm, and that special acrylic picture stand. Third place, $100 Amazon e-gift card, as well as the Jade fortune charm and picture stand. And fourth place, we'll be receiving the $70 Amazon e-gift card with 4,000 Jade, the 30-day fortune charm, and the special acrylic picture stand. Now, if you at home are also looking to win something, you'll also be in luck, as we will be doing lucky draws for our viewers who pay attention in chat, who are participants, who are having fun, as well as a gift code for everyone to get something special from this tournament. So we're all glad you're here. We hope you enjoy the tournament. If you do enjoy it, give us a thumbs up on the stream, as well as like and subscribe to the Mahjong Soul official YouTube channel here, so you don't miss out on tournaments, events, collaborations, and possibly some surprises coming up for you guys. So here we are. We've got the 3 games all set up, ready to go. Of course, not quite played yet. Tenote. I think we've seen it before, but now that it's in the table, it gives it some gravitas, doesn't it? You feel like it's about to happen.
Yes, you feel like it's about to happen. You know that these scores were halved and things like that, so it's not the end of the world. The difference between Flandre and first place here is only about a dealer Mongon in terms of score, if you're thinking about it that way. But we're getting into this match right now. No more talking about it. It is here. And so Flandre is going to be our first dealer here in East 1 of finals. Get hyped. We are here today. So looking at the starting hand for the dealer, it's nothing quite to write home about. Definitely some honor tiles mixed in here. 3 different Dora in Link's hand might come to fruition here in the circle suit, but might be having a connection issue here, so we'll see how that shakes out here.
Unfortunate open for the game 1 of finals. We did not see a connection issue throughout the rest of the bracket, so unfortunate start here for Link. Hopefully things get better for them, and it does look like they've returned, so that's good. Yeah,
I mean, you would hate to see like that kind of disconnection in the final. And so now
like
they're back.
this.
They're pawning the white dragon and stuff like that. They're trying to cash in all this value because something that we saw all throughout the quarterfinals and semifinals is that they had these hands just filled with Dora, and they would never come to fruition. People would never win them, and so you got to be able to cash in where you can. So an easy, quick Yaku like the white dragon here is going to be perfect for Link here to try and finish up this hand. Across the way, though, Ipafuria, no slouch either. Definitely has some great shapes in the hand. That 8 of circles doesn't quite help them, but definitely going to be able to fight for Tenpai in this hand. And KCOM Carlos, definitely some nice shapes in the character suit. Looking for a hand here as well to fight for this in the finals.
I think the 3 Dora curse was not just Link's curse. It felt like every player's curse in those. I know you mentioned that a lot of Carlos' points actually did come from Dora, but it seemed like for just about everybody else, the 3 Dora meant they could not finish the hand. So, hopefully that changes for Link here. A little bit unfortunate. Could have used that 8 pin right about now for Tenpai, but you got to do what you got to do. Link still has a pretty good shape even without the 8 pin to make a nice open-ended Tenpai weight.
Oh, and the con does come out. That will be no extra value for Link as of right now. Does give an extra Dora to Flandre and a little bit more hope for people who haven't opened their hand yet. Might be able to flip Uradora, because as we were just talking about, we have seen KCOM Carlos win with a lot of Dora, and normally when that happens, they're flipping over like 3 Uradora. It happened like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
This is just extreme luck. So with cons like this, you could see that again. So I'm hoping for it. I know the crowd is hoping for it. We want to see some big hands here as we go around with these tiles and discards. Flandre making a little bit of a efficiency decision.
Yeah, that's a hard decision for Flandre there. Decide what to discard. As you mentioned, there weren't really many Condora from the White Dragon con by Link, but one of them was Flandre's 9-cell, and so Flandre thinking about maybe using it, maybe not going for Tanyao all simples this time. And very close to Tenpai, but actually discards the 1 pin right back. Already has the pair of 3-cell, says 3-cell is good enough. Link actually choosing to discard 4 Mon instead of 1 Mon, which you would normally think was safer, but Link must think something different this time. This is technically Tenpai, yeah.
Yeah, this is technically Tenpai for Carlos. Whether or not they want to throw the red 5, you might call Ricci as like, a tone setter here. Yes, they do on the red 5. But Link is also in Tenpai for this 4-7. Could come back to bite Carlos here. Who knows? Being in Tenpai, you do get a lot of value, but you do lock in your hand, of course. So what they'll plan to do, we'll have to see. And it's Link finding the 3rd Dora. Oh man, so that is going to be White Dragon, 3 Dora, 1 Akadora, of course. And so that's gonna start our game off with a Mongon. No Ricci needed. Oh man, it started off big.
Yep, unfortunately, it could not make the 6th Dora, or the 5th Dora for Hanuman, the 6th Han. But, that's still pretty solid for Link, especially after being disconnected for the first 3 discards. The hand was good enough to get there. Link comes through with the early lead. This would put Link ahead overall in the entire standings. Because even just the Uma, the position points, are 15 and 5. That's how close the scores are right now coming into these finals.
Great pickup for Flandre there, who does have the opportunity to make up some of that dealer penalty from that last Mongon Sumo there. So does have the 3 Dora in hand, because of course that red 5 is counting as 2 Dora right now. But people are moving and grooving towards Tenpai here. Link with some good shapes in their hand, and Ipafuria not too far away themselves, and has the green dragon to pull away should they so choose.
Flandre getting excited there. This hand is something to get excited about, but I hope they didn't tip their hand by using too many emotes on the table. Doesn't matter to Carlos though, reaching again. Even the last one didn't quite work out. Carlos had the chance for 2 Uradora. Did not get them because Link won extremely quickly. But now Link might end up dealing in. And that's exactly what happens. Ipatsuron from Carlos. Carlos aggressive reach. He comes through here with 3 Uradora. You talked about it and the game delivered. A Mangan for Carlos out of a Richi only. The Richi Nomi or Richi only hand. It was 1 Han and all of a sudden it was 5. That is the explosive power of Richi.
Wow. You know, I don't think that we can be so silly as to call flipping Ura 3 a play style, but it has happened consistently for Carlos in this tournament. So maybe we're going to start calling it a play style.
The very Ura-based play here. We'll see. We'll see if Carlos continues to put Uradora on the board as we move into East 3 here. Almost halfway through. Haven't seen a dealer repeat yet. A lot of times in these tournament games, especially the finals, players are much more slow-paced, more cautious, trying to poke at points with less risk. But Carlos, in contrast to Link, has been much more willing to just reach middle of the road hands, and we saw in East 1 it did not pay off, but come East 2 it paid off in a huge way.
It certainly did, and as we go around the table here, we're looking at Flandre across the table now, going to be 1 away from Tenpai here. Definitely has some nice shapes. But emoting, saying that maybe it's not good enough for them. Oh, they're emoting at Link, I believe. So Link's hand also not too bad. Hopefully we can get these disconnections shored up. But while we're waiting on that, we can take a look at Ipafuria here. Luckily, Link is back. And this could be a potential 2-3-4 mixed triple sequence here with some luck. So could be a pretty large dealer hand here if we get the perfect draws.
We're sitting here waiting, and Flandre does make the call. That does make this hand very inexpensive, especially with the Dora discarded. Flandre going down to 1 Han only, but sometimes they say just win 1 Han, and then the rest of the Han will come to you in the future hands. You just have to get started by winning once. So I think that's what Flandre is going for here in East 3. Gotta get things started before it flips over and they become the dealer again in South Round.
Yeah, you could also make the argument that with Flandre's hand, if the 6 of circles comes through, you can pivot to all triplets as well, which could bring in some more value here. But a win is a win, as you're saying. So hopefully this comes to fruition for them. But it's Carlos calling the Ricci, and now those 3 ones of circles are going to be locked into Carlos's hand, waiting on that 6 of circles as well. There's none left in the wall to draw, so no sumo here. It has to come out of somebody's hand.
Yeah, it does mean Flandre might not get the chance to make the all triplets. We'll have to just be satisfied with winning on 1 pin or 4 pin. If Carlos gets the 1 pin though, he has the opportunity to con it, so he doesn't have to worry about that. It's just the 2 4 pins, really, that he's got to be worried about dealing out here. Or rather, 1 copy of the 4 pin. The other one is the Dora indicator. So it doesn't even have to worry about that either. Oh, but this 4 pin might come out right now. No, Ipafuria is going to play cautious safe. Flandre sets up a double roan possibility if a 6 pin does come out, but it seems fairly unlikely.
Well, as unlikely as it was, we did see a triple Ron at one point. So
That is true.
this is this is a tournament where things can happen. But also, if that 3 of circles comes in, especially if it's Sumo for Flandre, that would be a really big boost to their hand, as it would be 3 concealed triplets here.
Yeah, started out with only 1 Han worth of value, but now the value has started rolling in.
Yeah, it's also worth mentioning that 3 is very, very discardable right now, based upon it being safe to the dealer. That was what Carlos called Ricci on in the first place. So if somebody picks it up, they might think that it's pretty safe looking.
Ooh, Link with the
But it's going to be
classic. No Yaku Tenpai, no Ricci. So Link sitting here. May be able to win on a Sumo, but no Roan. Cannot win on Roan. Finds a safe form on those. Able to maintain this Tenpai. Has 1 more draw to maintain it. What's that last draw gonna be? Oh, looks pretty safe to me. 8 mon, that's not too bad. And it does indeed come out.
Yeah, there's a lot of points left on the board with this one. A potential Mongon there for Flandre. All triplets, 3 concealed triplets in Eastwind. But not to be the case here. This is a great starting hand for Carlos, the first of their dealerships here. Starting out with some honor tile pairs and, of course, some nice shapes in the numbered suits. But Flandre doesn't have a bad starting hand either. Definitely some good tile connectivity there. And all across the table, these hands aren't looking too bad. Looking pretty fast, actually.
Yeah, I would not expect this one to end in a draw. In fact, Carlos might have even had 3 dragons, but Ipa Furia has 2 copies of the red and Flandre has 1 copy of the red, so it doesn't look like Carlos is going to be able to make that last red dragon out of the dragons. Of course, now might be able to threaten it. Seeing as only 1 copy of the red dragon has come out, might be able to threaten that I might have big 3 dragons dice again. I might have little 3 dragons. So Ipa Furia's red dragons are probably locked away now. Carlos, of course, Tenpai on 4 and 7 mon, and now Ipa Furia is already Tenpai as well. So, as you mentioned, an extremely fast first hand.
A little bit of a decision by Carlos to keep Tenpai or think about whether or not upper bamboo tile being used as the Ricci tile, if it's safe to drop that 3 of bamboo. Could also maybe consider a half flush here as well, but seems a little far off.
Yeah,
so,
even if Carlos discards one of the Manzu tiles, the 5 mon or the 6 mon, he would still be Tenpai, just single pair waiting. So could use that as like a intermediary step halfway between and still be able to win if necessary. But the 5 mon, the 6 mon, not really super safe. Then again, nothing is because the Ricci is so early.
Yeah, this is the second turn, Ricci. So yeah, it's hard to play against, and a lot of people will tell you that with these sorts of Riccis, man, just assume that it's a bad weight and all that sort of stuff. And for Ipa Furia, it is a single tile weight here on the 7, but there's a lot of tiles to draw, and there's still 3 in the wall, so far from impossible, of course. And KCOM Carlos here only has 1 in the wall, so depending on how you look at it, even though it's a double-sided weight, it doesn't matter anymore because Ipa Furia finds the 1 tile that they need. So this is going to be Ricci Sumo, pure double sequence, plus the Dora for a fake Mongon 7900 there. And then they will also take the repeat as well. So that means that they will take first place here, heading in to South 1.
Yeah, Ipa Furia has been in last and now is in first. Very similar to their overall tournament run, coming in first from the semifinals, having a immediate sort of slip in position. Ipa Furia was at risk of being eliminated at one point, but managed to come back up and post a strong second place overall going into the finals. So a little microcosm of that in this first game. This hand is going to be interesting.
Yeah, very interesting hand, especially for Flandre right now, who is kind of sitting here with a little bit of a lopsided hand, because you're sitting there thinking, if they get this red dragon triplet, which is the Dora, it's basically a free Mangan. But are other competitors going to be willing to drop the red dragon? Is KCOM Carlos looking to use that as a pair? Will he keep it until the heat death of the universe? Who knows? So okay, so it does come out, and it's a lot less lopsided now. Commentators curse.
Yeah, Carlos has been playing.
These are the things that you have to consider whenever you have that sort of starting hand.
Carlos has been playing very aggressively here, and it's been working out for him. He is first place overall in the entire tournament. Currently second place in this game, so it will be close. Of course, Ipa Furia right on his tail in the overall scores, and so would overtake him should the scores end like this in game number 1. But right now, Carlos 1 away from Tenpai, Flandre 2 away, but with a much higher value, a dealer almost Mangan, the 11,600, 11,700 type hand. Might be able to get it to full Mangan. It's quite possible. But a couple hundred points, really, it's not going to make that much of a difference right now. It might later, but I don't think it makes too much difference right now. Yeah, Carlos finds it here. Has to give up another Dora, which is also called.
Yeah, making it super tough for the other competitors to really fight for this hand, because you have so much value represented on the board, and things just get so scary because you know that Carlos has an open hand that is more and more likely to deal in, because they have less safe tiles to sort of like maneuver around with and stuff like that in this situation. And of course, you are super scared of dealing into Flandre. And Link will deal into Carlos here. Avoids dealing into the massive hand, but Carlos steals away all of that potential value there with a White Dragon 1,000 points. Stops Flandre from a massive dealer manga.
Yeah, Flandre looking for that break here. Mentioned all the way back from East 3 that Flandre has been trying to catch a break this game. Unfortunately, not that hand. It looked like there was a good opportunity. Flandre has been using a lot of emotes. Just about every time they've had a good hand, we've seen an emote from them. So, you know, looking back, recalling just how many emotes we've seen from them, they've had a lot of opportunities this game, a lot of chances, but none of them have quite come through.
That's definitely true. And, you know, every tournament that we do, there's always the one player that is just all about the emotes and stuff like that, and normally becomes the crowd favorite just because of that. But, you know, this time it's Flandre, which is great.
Yeah.
But looking at the game right now, South 2, our dealer is Link 18 here. Finding that 7, the all-important edge weight there, definitely going to be really important for them. Technically, we're 1 away from Tenpai here, but it will be kind of like a weird weight and stuff like that should we find that tile. Ipa Furia here has a pretty shiny hand at this point. Again, we do have like this kind of like curse of the Dora and stuff like that that's been going on for this entire tournament. Does need to make a decision here on what to discard, and it will be the 9 of characters here. Not a bad decision at all, of course. Not that little hanging tile there. So here it is. Potential Ricci from Link. It will be on either like the 1 or the 3 of bamboo here if they decide to go with this setup. They'll actually take the different weight here, and it'll be on the 1-4 rather than the double pair weight. So this is a better shape here for them, waiting on the double-sided weight here. And 3 to go, 3 on the wall. So definitely some potential for some Sumo.
Yeah, it also adds Pinfu, and it's gotten Carlos to step back from his hand. It's Carlos settling in on first place right now. Definitely not a safe lead, very small lead, but would rather play for that than risk dealing in with such a small hand. Ipa Furia has been opening up some safe tiles for Carlos by actually being more aggressive because, as you mentioned, they have 4 Dora. And curse or not, I think I still have to let my logical brain take over and go for it when I have it. Oh, but the curse continues. The 4 Dora do not connect. And there is 4Han 20 Fu Sumo for Link. 2600 from everybody. Putting Link in first place. For now.
Yeah, I think given that we had like a day of like a gap of a little vacation here between semifinals and finals, if you're one of these competitors coming into the finals, you probably did at least a little bit of research on your competitors. You were watching the tape, you were doing all that sort of stuff. With Link calling Richie there, normally a player that stays in Shadow Tenpai, right? In Domino-ten, as we call it in
Yes.
Japanese terminology. And whenever you see them Richie, it's like, oh, they've got something, right? Like something's cooking over there. So I think that's what made Carlos kind of steer away from fighting for that hand whenever he didn't have a lot of value, and also didn't necessarily see where all the Dora were. They were in Ipa Furia's hand, but you know, that sort of safety is what we saw from Carlos there. That sort of research and game knowledge that we just saw in action.
Yeah, here we go. Carlos is moving very aggressively and decisively towards a half flush, getting rid of possible nice middle tiles with 6 Mon, 7 So. 7 So does connect to Dora sometimes. Dora's 5 So. And that just means that Carlos knows where he's going and he knows how to get there. Ipa Furia holding 3 Dora this time. You got the red 5 So, which is 2 on its own, and then a red 5 pin. A little pause here on 6. It's not the greatest call, but it does open up all triplets, which would be even more points for Carlos. He doesn't go for it, though.
Yeah, I think maybe with the macro of it all, you just kind of accept that you're looking for Yakuhai and just finish the hand however you can.
Yep. So Carlos sitting on 1 Yakuhai, because we're in the south round, and half flush for 3 Han. But we'll see, maybe this, if the 6 pin comes out again, now he'll be convinced to call it because he would still be Tenpai.
Yeah, there is a solid chance of that. You never know. Still 1 away here for Ipa Furia. Thinking about whether or not they want to drop that green dragon. They decided not to, just in case it might be some sort of sneaky weight in Carlos's hand, maybe, or maybe they just want it for whenever they call Richie for like a little bit of a safer tile. Who knows? People hold on to honor tiles for different reasons.
That's right.
But it's Carlos who finds the 8 of circles. Going to be a pretty nice hand for them here, based on their point differential here. So that's red dragon, half flush, 4,000 points, and gets the repeat there for 4,300 overall. So Carlos is looking pretty good, especially because they came in with that first place with those points, that 21.33 that you see over there on the left. So it looks pretty good for Carlos in game 1 of the final so far.
Yeah, an interesting opening hand for Ipa Furia here in the dealer position. 6 wins, but the pairs are all non-Yakuhai. You know, East and South, the 2 wins that are Yakuhai for Ipa Furia, only 1 copy of each. And in fact, Ipa Furia already gets rid of South, so not looking for a dream 4-win scenario here. Going to go for anything, honestly. Like, Ipa Furia's hand doesn't look that great right now. I don't think they like it too much. But I think Carlos, on the other hand, likes his hand a little more. 4 pairs, has Dora, has a possible out by calling Yakuhai on the Green Dragon. And if you like what you're seeing so far, make sure to thumbs up the stream at the bottom there.
Yeah, Link over on the left is building up their hand. Looking like they're currently 2 away from Tenpai here. Gonna be able to fill in some of the gaps with like a 7 of circles and things like that. So, man, barreling towards Tenpai here for Link, even in the first row. And of course, you have Flandre over across the table, who might be thinking about that half flush there in the bamboo suit. Definitely thinking about it now with that green dragon. So we'll see how their hand develops, whether or not you want to keep those or not, and decides not to. So definitely going for the half flush. Thought worked for Carlos. So maybe it works for Flandre.
Yeah, after seeing the second green dragon, I started to think maybe all green is possible, but there's too many 7s and 9s there, so I kind of doubt that's going to happen. Still, the 9 so is Dora. So there could still be a lot of value, especially if Flandre gets this hand closed and doesn't have to call. Of course, the green dragon pair for Carlos is going to be the biggest Achilles heel. But now Ipa Furia has made a very decisive move as well, just as Carlos did last hand. Everybody is using Sozu tiles. Everybody's using those bamboo tiles right now.
Yeah, and so now bamboo is getting a little bit more expensive, and the hands that aren't using them, like Link, might have to fold or deal in or something like that. There's going to be some overflow potentially. So whenever people are all using the same suit, you might see that kind of battle ensue.
Yeah, Flandre not willing to wait here. Goes ahead and cheese, even willing to risk a scary 4-so discard into the table. Ooh, a little bit of a backfire, but it is what it is. Let's see if Link is willing to discard a 5-so here. It is Tenpai. No. Much too dangerous for Link to make that move.
Yeah, I think some of the signals here from Flandre are kind of telling you that it just might be a little bit too much with how this is going, because dropping 2 of the 4s and cheeing a 6, 7, 8 of bamboo might kind of signal like, hey, I'm going for half flush or even full flush based on the discards and stuff like that. It's like, hey, this might be Tenpai for this person. So, dropping that 5 of bamboo is just a little bit too much.
Yeah, Ipa Furia not calling West. Will they call this 1-so now? They've already passed on West. They have 5 pairs. Maybe they just let this one go as well, but they're thinking for a long time. They take it this time. 7 comes out. It's safe. It goes through, but it gives Carlos Tenpai.
There's
now,
the West.
yes. Here goes the East. It does look like it deals in, but Carlos has no Yaku. Has to get the Green Dragon side. Will we see a con here? Going for the win! But as we can see, there are no more tiles for Flandre left in the wall, so always nice to feel. This is actually the good Tenpai for Link, and the only player able to reach still doesn't want to do it though.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Oh, that would have been the win if they had reached. We've seen this a number of times. Link opting to play it safe rather than risking, and sometimes they miss Roan, but overall they've made it here into top 4. 3-so actually deals in for real this time. And because of the con, Ipa Furia's hand is worth a lot of points. Flandre doesn't have many save tiles.
No.
Yes, and that is going to deal in. So the Battle of Bamboo has concluded here. That's going to be half flush Dora 2 for 11,600 points from that dealer seat. Ipa Furia now in the lead as your dealer in South 3 here. And man, it was coming down to the wire there. There were not many tiles left, and that was a very hard decision from Flandre, but terms of Ipafuria deciding to not go for the 7 pairs route, but open their hand, go for that half flush decidedly. Really, really paid off there.
Yeah, it worked out, especially with a little help from not your friends in this case, your opponents. A little help from your opponents. You know, Khan can share the wealth around the table, and it moved Ipafuria from 2 Han, which is probably why they passed the West in the first place, not really wanting to risk for 2 Han, but moved them all the way up to a Manga, or almost a Manga, 11,600.
Yeah.
But that's 4 times the points. As dealer, that's about 8,000 more points. Made the hand enormous, and Flandre having to pay the price on that one, just drawing the wrong tile at the wrong time. Down under 10,000 as we go into South 3.
Yeah, none of the starting hands here have been particularly eventful for these players. There are these sort of Dora tiles stuck in the hand, but one of them comes out from Ipafuria, which might proc everybody else to drop that right there. So Carlos is going to get that out of their hand. Going to look to probably speed things along and try and get toward their own dealership here. Does have a few pairs in hand. Could look for 7 pairs, but could also go for a normal hand because they do have a couple of double-sided weights here. So it's hard to make that decision whenever you're in this sort of situation.
Yeah, we've seen a few different 7 pairs attempts today already in this first game. None of them have panned out. No winning 7 pairs. Doesn't have the greatest win rate, but when 7 pairs does win, it tends to be quite expensive. So we'll see.
Yes.
And Carlos seems to have an affinity for winning very expensive hands, even when they don't look expensive to start.
That's definitely true. 7 pairs is one of those hands that can really sneak up on you. I mean, 7 pairs itself is a hand that is often called a shortcut to Hanemon, especially if you add in things like all simples or 2 Dora or 2 Oradora, all these different combinations. It can really, really, really skyrocket in value. So that might be the kind of thing that Carlos is hoping for here as we're getting towards the end of the second row of discards here. But our dealer is finally finding the tiles that they need here with the 7 coming in. So looking a little bit better for Ipafuria fans here on this dealer repeat.
A 1 away here for Ipafuria. As we mentioned, Carlos looking to maybe go for 7 pairs. Flandre, on the other hand, absolutely denying 7 pairs. Has discarded a pair of 4-mon now. Well, discarded 1 copy of the 4-mon. Discarded a pair of 1-mon. Pair of 9-mon. Has discarded 1 copy of the 6-mon. Has drawn about 8 or 9 pairs right now, but has been playing the generally higher win rate Tanyao hand. Just in this case, didn't draw the tiles that way. And now Flandre has got the Tanyao hand, but closed with Ricci. Link has an open Tanyao hand, but it has 2 red Dora. The regular Dora are basically null and void now. 3 of them in the discards. And they are the green dragon, so it's not like you can make a sequence with them. But 3 so, 4 so, 6 so, 7 so, all deal into somebody here.
Yeah, so we, with the 2 players in Tenpai, we did not end up seeing that sort of 7 pairs come to fruition, at least not yet. Carlos isn't quite into Tenpai at the moment, but looking to be folding here, so
yes.
Not going to come around this round, but this round did have a ton of pairs in hand for a lot of these players, which can actually happen more often than you think, where a lot of the hands on their own individual terms will just have a bunch of pairs. So that can kind of like gum up the game and, get in the way. This 6 comes into the hand for Ipafuria, but it's just too much to drop, so gonna stay safe here. Flandre trying to find that final 7, but will not here for the 4-7. And so we go through to this exhaustive draw, and points are going to be taken out as we move into all last in the very first game of finals here for Catfood Bowl #SpringBloom.
All last, it is indeed. Of course, all last can sometimes be a misnomer if the dealer keeps winning. Then it's all last 2, all last 3, all last 4, and Carlos has a reasonable shot at winning here, maybe even with a fully outside hand, the Junchan. Flandre on the right is trying to make some sort of comeback, but unless they draw more Dora, it's going to be difficult. Across the table, Link has a couple pairs, but that's about it. And on the left, Ipa Furia has some open-ended shapes, but nothing complete yet, so this looks like it's going to be a slow one for all last. Slow grind of maximum efficiency and difficult decisions. This is one of those hands that takes all of your brain power and all of your expertise to navigate correctly.
Yeah, well, a wise man once said that all last is the start of the game. It's just the beginning. You know, it's where the true game really begins. And whether or not you truly believe that is up for debate. But it really can be here, especially with a player like Carlos, who has been finding the hands that they need. Can definitely sneak in a good Reachy here and there. But it's Flandre who's going to be pawning that white dragon. So that's representing 4 Han just right off the bat right now. Still pretty far away from Tenpai, but has the shapes to go about it. So this could be a pretty big hand for Flandre. Wouldn't exactly be enough as it currently stands, as the shape is now, to get back into the game outside of 4th place here. But it could turn into that sort of shape with a little bit of luck.
Yeah, unfortunately not able to con the last Dora. That was discarded by Ipa Furia. I did mention at the beginning Flandre's hand really looked terrible unless they could pull a pair of Dora, and they did. But even with an open Mangan, as you mentioned, even direct hitting any player will not be enough to change position. Even so, getting 8,000 points will at least improve their score a little bit going into games 2 and 3, where they can make their comeback instead. Maybe the emotes will bring them some power. Maybe being a little fan favorite will bring them some power as well. But we'll see if they can collect this hand in South 4, because our other players are getting closer to Tenpai. Carlos is 1 away, not the greatest weights. Link is also Link is also 1 away. Ipa Furia pretty close themselves, also 1 away. So, 3 players all 1 away from Tenpai here, as we round out the 10th discards about. A lot of thought for Carlos.
Yeah, Ipa Furia is 1 away from Tenpai, but those 3 of circles are almost entirely locked away. So it's going to be particularly difficult to find that 2-4 of circles here. Not impossible by any means, but might not see the Tenpai here. But we do get Tenpai from Flandre, and that 3 does come into Link's hand, but it seems like it'll be used in the hand here.
Yep, and Flandre does not get the winning tile on that one. Link, once again, no Yaku.
Upgrade.
Once again, no. Even if you get the double-sided shape here, no Yaku. So Link does finally Reachy.
Yeah, it's a very nice shape here. So it's going to be a triple-sided weight. The 6-9 of circles, and then the 6 of characters. So a lot of different tiles could deal in here, and 3 in the wall to draw here potentially for the Ipatsu, but it does not come through. So going to be waiting on these tiles, as Flandre is really, really hoping to find this tile here. But Ipa Furia also getting it at Tenpai on that 3 of circles. That is going to be pretty hard to find.
But Flandre was the first to Tenpai, but now got to be a scary position overall. 3 players Tenpai. Carlos not quite there, but very close on the cusp. Now has a safe tile in 2-pin. Guess he always had it to the Reachy player, but he does go ahead and play the 5 cell. Not too dangerous, but still slightly dangerous. 100 deals in on 6-mon, but has the opportunity to switch the weight and does go for it. So good heads up play by Flandre. Ipafuria does not have that luxury though. If Ipafuria wants Tempai. Wow, what a tile, and we get the slight emo here. Flandre, knowing they're not going to be able to get out without taking the last place, just takes the points they can get. This is about 10,000 extra, right?
Tough, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's super tough because it does bring Ipafuria from first into third off of that deal in. So our scores for game 1 here are going to be Link, actually, at 30,100. Kcom Carlos at 27,200, just by 200 points here in second place. Ipafuria in third at 27,000, and Flandre at 15,700 points. Making up for some of those points there, which will help their score despite the fourth place.
Yeah, so a few extra points for Flandre at the end, and a pretty tough break for Ipafuria, going from first all the way down to third. But that does mean we have a very close match going into game 2. As we can see here, Link holding the new top spot with the plus 20 here at overall plus 33.9. Carlos still made a positive game at plus 7.2 to make 28.53 overall. Ipafuria, the minus 3, is still in the positives at plus 15.05, and Flandre did make a good run in the end to save 8 points, but now minus 24.3 in that game, in the negatives, minus 15.35. So the luck bounces here and there, but still a lot of game to play. A lot of room for luck, a lot of room for skill, and a lot of room for tiles and thrill. But for now, something a little bit thrilling, not for the players so much for the viewers. If you like what's going on here, thumbs up the channel. We are going to give you a chance to win a 30-day fortune charm. One lucky Janchi here in the first and second game intermission will win this 30-day fortune charm. So we want you to leave your comment, but we want them to be a little guided. Us here at the booth have a question for you. Our question is pretty simple now that it's the finals. Who are you rooting to win the finals? Who do you want? Which player are you rooting for here? We've seen a lot of different gameplay. We've seen the hyper decisive super aggression. We have seen the emo based attack, all out attack. We've seen the Damaten, the Shadow Tempai's slow and steady race. And we've seen the value creation, the value generation. They say there's good words for it in Japanese. The translation is just, you like to go for expensive hands. That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, I personally, if you want to see a Yakuman, allegedly Flandre has the most Yakuman out of these players in the Jade Room. So that's what I would like to see personally. I think it would be super hype. But of course, all these players are really, really great competitors, and it's really fun to see Carlos flip over 3 Uradora all the time. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. I've liked Carlos's decisive play. Seems like he shoots the line. He's willing to take risks. Sometimes they pay off, sometimes they don't. Overall, it's been enough to keep him in second place, but it's very entertaining to watch, you know. And as viewers, as commentators, That is part of what we like to see. Of course, no shade to any of the other players. They are all playing their best. I like to see there's been a lot of variety. Sometimes you get like 4 of the same kind of player on the table, and it's a small game of inches, little moves. Sometimes it's an all-out fire fest where tiles are flying and points are zipping out everywhere. But we've seen a very nice mix of strategies and playstyles in this final tournament, and so I really like that a lot. And I think one of you viewers right there is going to really like our draw decision right now. Our winner of the 30-day fortune charm is I Phrogtt, a Flandre fan. So Flandre fans have gotten lucky. Perhaps that luck will rub off on Flandre as they go into game 2. I forget, make sure to contact us at mjs.cs@yo-star.com with a screenshot of your YouTube profile and your Mahjong Soul friend ID, so they know where to send the fortune charm and they know whose YouTube profile that actually is. Congratulations. Stay tuned. If you didn't win, there will be more opportunity, not only for you to win, but also more amazing Mahjong that I'm sure is the main event of this stream. So, Tenote, this has been quite the ride going into game 2. It was quite the ride on the previous 2 days. And, you know, when you take a long ride, you gotta kind of take a break, right? There's gotta be a rest stop. You might have to change the driver. And that is what we're going to do here right now. I'm going to be changing out for our lovely magical Mahjong girl, Irie. How are you doing?
Hello everyone! It's nice to be here once again, bringing to you guys the top 4 of the Catfood Bowl Miner #Spring Boom. It's lovely to see you guys here again. So many people watching. I hope you guys are enjoying the game. We've been seeing some amazing play coming out from Carlos and all the other contestants as well, as we were just talking about it. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Irie. I'm a English streamer for Mahjong on Twitch and YouTube at Irene TV. You guys can check me out if you want. I want to start bringing more content for you guys, so maybe some more educational or the kind of content. Hopefully bring everyone up to the levels of these amazing competitors that we're seeing here tonight. So tell me, Tehote, how have things been here tonight?
Well, things have been great. I mean, we've had a really competitive game 1 here, and we have been talking a lot about some of the highlights here, the big hands from Carlos, but in fact, it was Link with a much more defensive playstyle, you know, not calling Richie nearly as often as the other competitors here, you know, and also, like, missing out on some value here and there. Had they called Richie, you know, maybe that title doesn't come out, but, you know, because they didn't call Richie, the title does come out, so it's like, did they miss out on value because they don't have Yaka without Richie, all that sort of stuff. But Link does come out on top here in game 1. Getting that plus 20 points was already pretty well positive coming into the finals and things like that. And so if you're looking at the total scores over there on the right, they are at plus 33. It's not a huge advantage necessarily. Things will swap and, you know, everything will go haywire over these next couple of games. That's just how things work in Mahjong. But with that defensive playstyle, the more points that Link has, the more that they'll probably hang on to them because of that defensive playstyle. They're more likely, you know, to not lose to other players in those individual hands.
And yeah, so Link really had like a lot of momentum going into, you know, the first game. The first hand, Link wasn't even quite there yet with the disconnect, but that didn't even matter, as we saw the Mongun coming in right at the beginning and, you know, carrying that lead all the way to the end. And so let's see if Link can keep carrying on this lead that he's got, or maybe one of the other contestants will come out from underneath. And Flandre did get a fourth, did come into this as the fourth as well, but winning that Mangan at the end saved him some points, and then in the next few games he's gonna have that opportunity to bring it back, getting those first, and maybe swapping with Link. Maybe Flandre gets first, Link gets fourth, and then that way they can exchange pots.
Yeah. And one thing that we've been talking about is the level of competition here, and how we have three same players, and then Ipa Furia, who could be considered the underdog as a Master 3 player. However, I was corrected in chat. They are a Master 3 in 4-player, but they are a Saint player in 3-player Mahjong in Sanma. So sneakily, everybody here is a Saint. And, to have somebody who, has the brain that works in that 3-player space, not all Mahjong players have that brain.
Yeah, no, I personally don't, and I do understand the value, and it's a completely different environment, right? Because you got the sumos have less value, so sometimes you want to go for those sneaky silent weights, and you can make such high value hands. It's definitely a whole different game, and so the players who get up there, they develop a different skill set that I think does actually come into play here, even though this is only 4-player.
Yeah, and it's rare to see somebody who is at a high rank in both of them. Normally it's just one or the other. So really, really cool to have that kind of player here on stage for the finals. Man, we're going to get into that Mahjong action here in just a minute. But Irie, do you have any predictions for Game 2, what we might see here?
I mean, Euphoria has been showing very consistent play, that we have seen over the quarterfinals and the semifinals. I mean, all these players have. Carlos, does have that sort of double-edged sword playstyle, right? Taking the risks, but maybe calculating with that instinct which risks are worth taking. And so we'll see. Kakon Carlos is the first dealer of the game here as we get started. Game 2 of the grand finals of Catfood Bowl Minor #Spring Bloom is underway now. Kakon Carlos, our first dealer. Dora Z of Bamboo. Flandre gonna be our second dealer. Ipa Furia across the way, our third dealer. And Link on the left here with quite a nice hand. A triplet of white dragons, a pair of the reds. Looking good to start.
Yeah, and it does look like Link is going to be having the fastest hand here, with the white dragons already completed as a set, and the red dragons on deck ready to be pawned away should they come out from either Keiko Carlos or out of the wall here. It's going to be a fast start here in East 1.
And Carlos did just pick up a nice upgrade in the form of 9 of Bamboo, and now the 6 of characters as well. We might see the red dragon come off. There it is. Will we see the pawn? So Link pawns. So now that's going to be 2 Yaku in the form of red and white triplets with one of the Dora. So that's going to be around 4,000 points, maybe a little bit more. And, what are we seeing here from the other players, Denote?
So a little bit like around the table, as we were talking about in that last match, there are some hands of Mahjong where each hand will have like 2 or 3 pairs starting out in the hand and things like that, which could potentially clog things up, could potentially dictate the different Yaku that people are going to go for. So Ipa Furia across the way has 1, 1, 2, 2, 3 in the character suit, going to be looking for that pure double sequence. Over on the right, Flandre with a few pairs and is making it work in these different places where you do have the 4-5-5 in the circle suit, but it also turns out to be a 5-7-9 and things like that for a Ryokan shape. And also in Carlos's hand here, you can see that this 4 comes in, going to deny it entry here, but that would have made for 3 pairs plus the triplet in their hand. So it's just kind of how the tiles shuffle out, but it can really affect things.
Yeah, and right now Link did just pick up another pair here in the form of the 4 of circles. So that will allow him to possibly make a call in the future to get into the ready to win hand state, right? The tempai. So we'll see if he can manage to get that. Right now, everyone is just, an inch away from being ready to strike, so to speak. But none of them have quite gotten their hands ready yet.
Yeah, and with the pickup of the 8 of circles over for Flandre, there is now a potential chance at 7, 8, 9 mixed triple sequence over there. If they happen to draw the Dora, which there are 2 in people's hands at the moment, so it's far from impossible. But it's going to be Carlos hitting Tenpai here first, and we do see the Ricci come out. It's going to be on the 1, 4 of circles, 1 left in the wall, and of course, 4 are in the discards, and 3 are in people's hands right now. And this actually could come out from Flandre if they accept this 5 of circles.
Yeah, it might. It's a tough situation here, but instead, just dropping the 7 of bamboo and presumably the 9 of bamboo as follow-up. Flandre does still have a chance of completing the sound. We'll see what they can make of it, though. Oh, the 8 of bamboo would have completed that shape. Unfortunately, they already discarded the 7 in an attempt to be safer. We'll see what they make of this now.
Yeah, deciding to drop the 5. A little bit of a technique where you have a triplet of that tile and stuff like that. So if one of them you feel is safe, then all 3 of them are going to be safe. So it makes folding that much easier. So Flandre going with the decision saying, hey, I didn't get that 7, 8, 9, and my hand isn't going to come through. So let's just, fold this out and ride into the next hand. It's only East 1. There's a lot of time. We can still survive here. And it's going to be a palm from Link, who drops the 3 of circles now and is waiting on that 6, 9 of bamboo. 3 of them locked into Carlos's hand and 1 of them in Flandre's hand. So a narrow wait, just like Carlos here, for potential sumo.
Yeah, it's only the 6 of bamboo left, and Flandre is going to find it. Does have 2 of the winning tiles here for Link and 1 of them for Carlos. Doesn't look like they're going to find the tile. There is 1 left. There's 1 tile left for Carlos to draw. Will we see it? 4 of circles. Oh, it's the 6 of circles. Not quite, but still, Carlos will find that those extra points at the end of the round for being in Tenpai in Ricci. So going to get a few extra points. 1,000 points are going to be left over, the initial bet of the Ricci. And whoever wins is going to take a little bit extra points, as this is going to be the bonus hand of the dealer.
Really interesting chi there at the end of the hand for Flandre. Does not get them into Tenpai, but it does swap the weight of the decision making for the final tile, the Hote tile, into Ibafurio's hands there. So Flandre making that decision to kind of take some of the danger off of themselves. So really interesting move there that a lot of players maybe wouldn't see at first glance. So really cool there from them. They're going to be pawning the white dragon here to try and speed up their hand a little bit. Still a little bit far away, but does have Dora in hand, and will definitely be looking to at least pair that up. But Ipafuria across the way, getting
it's a nice hand here from Ipafuria. Just 1 away from a reach Binfu. Might be nice. Is able to use the Dora. Carlos is also developing a nice hand here as dealer. See if they can find a way to use this Dora to finally win one of these hands as a dealer. It's going to be Ipafuria though who finds the Ricci first on a 1-4 bamboo.
Yes, and this is a very nice, powerful weight. It's a double-sided weight, and you called it in the first row. So the chances of Ipafuria finishing this hand are relatively high. And of course, the sumo possibilities here for those extra Han are that much higher as well. The other players are going to try to battle this out from what it looks like so far. I'm going to see if they can hit Tenpai while dodging those deal-in possibilities.
Yep, the white dragon gonna be passed safely by Carlos. Probably just going to be having to fold here as these early reaches really constrain the activity that you can... the hands that you can make. Oh, but Flandre is gonna be dealing into Epophorea's hand. A lot of bamboo tiles were discarded right before the reaches, so it didn't seem that dangerous, but Epophorea wisely setting the trap. It's going to take Reach Pinfu, Dora from Flandre. So now it's Flandre's dealer. Let's see what they can make of this. They do have one Dora and some nice shapes in their hand.
And it's always, interesting to see how players deal with their honor tiles and stuff like that at the beginning of a hand. Link able to pawn the East Wind, but deciding to discard the 9 of bamboo over the green dragon, things like that, hoping that it'll come in over these next rounds and stuff like that. It's something that gets talked about a lot, how long you hold those honor tiles and why. So, Irie, do you have any knowledge around that you would share?
So, usually the effective ways that you can use an honor tile are if you can use it to speed up your hand. Let's say if you keep a green dragon, you might draw the second one, and then you're able to call the triplet to finish your hand faster. The other way that you can use it is to make triplets to hopefully enable some sort of other hand. Like, let's say you have a triplet of the greens, or a triplet of the East in Link's case, right? If you're able to then pair that up with triplets, right, all triplets, or maybe even half flush as well, that is a very good way to add more value to your hand. So sometimes, even if it's less likely you win more points, and that's worth more for your hand.
Yeah, great explanation there. Thank you so much. We like to, bring some of that education to the audience here. So Flandre, our dealer here, has some great shapes in hand. Could make things work out very, very well. If they find the 3/6 over on the left there of the character tiles, they can drop this 3 of circles here for a triple-sided weight, which would be very exciting for them. Definitely a very nice potential reachy call here. But it's going to be Link now one away, looking for some of these connecting tiles to the Dora, trying to find a little bit of value on top of that East. Flandre will find the other side here, so going to be waiting on that 3/6 rather than the triple-sided weight. But either way, that was a great one-way for them, and now waiting on potentially the Dora here for a lot of value.
Yes, that's going to be exactly what Flandre needs. Currently in the 4th place here of the top 4, so really needs to find this 1st place. We'll see if they can Noe Patsu and Tsumo, but they still have the Richi out there. Link is getting close to that Tenpai, so they're probably going to be the ones to challenge this hand. There it is, I believe that's Tenpai. We'll see the weight on the 6.
Link going to deny Tenpai here, deciding that tiles around the Dora might just be a little too unsafe.
Carlos as well is getting closer and closer to Tenpai. We'll see if when the time comes Carlos does decide to take it. The 3 of characters will deal in to Flandre. So will the 6, which is the Dora. This hand is currently a Richi Pinfu Dora. With the Tsumo on the 6, it would be Mangan. So there's a chance for 12,000, 18,000, or, a little bit less.
Yeah, it is potentially a pretty big hand. And that Dora coming into Carlos's hand is going to seal the deal on that fold from them. Definitely was already thinking about folding here, but I think that these character tiles are just kind of overflow at this point, but this 9 makes it just that a little bit more difficult to decide what to throw here. It's going to be the
Mhm.
lower character tiles.
Yeah, so no one is able to move an inch in against Flandre. Link did have a chance to get Tempai, but decided against it. Maybe it felt it was too unsafe. Link does have the current advantage in the overall set between these 4 players, right? They're playing a 3-game series. So right now Link is leading. And he's also in a great position here in this game, so it doesn't necessarily have to risk everything for this hand against the dealer. And meanwhile, Flounder is still just looking for the draw. Doesn't find it yet.
Yep. Importantly as well for the value of this hand, Flandre does have the final draw here. So this could be a bonus Han, a bonus Yaku here for Under the Sea as well. So could see even more value here for Flandre, but it gets taken away here with this Chi from Ipafuria, taking away that Under the Sea chance for Flandre here, actually denying those points potentially. Once again, that's the second round in a row Ipafuria has chosen, or sorry, Flandre did it last time, but it's the second time we've seen a player do that, which is really, really high skill level gameplay that most people, don't think about. Oh, this is a potential extra Yaku, right?
I think it is this sort of thing that will keep advancing Mahjong play, right? We start from learning the Yaku, and then we perfect and master every little aspect of it. And I think that is another one of these aspects that players of this caliber have that they develop eventually, because when you see it time and time again, when you think, oh, it won't happen, but it does. And that's why these players learn how to do this, and it truly is impressive how disciplined some of these players can get, where they are always thinking about every little thing that could happen. Like Flandre, I wonder how many possibilities this hand could draw. I mean, you can see a pure stray, you can see all these different variations, right?
Yeah, the hand of the table right now, to me, is probably Carlos's hand right now. A very nice potential triple-sided weight in the character suit, and then also a pure double sequence, pretty much guaranteed here. Should they keep that shape in the 1-1-2-3-3 in the bamboo. So right now, just waiting on a tile here, just in that one away sort of shape. We'll have to see how they progress with this hand. But actually going to take a different route with that double-sided weight on the 7-8.
And Carlos is the closest one to Tempai currently, I believe. Just stepped into one away, and there it is, Tempai. Richie, Pingfu, 2-sided weight, 6-9 of bamboo. Flandre does have quite a few of those styles, so we'll see if this is going to be an impediment for the dealer's hand here.
Yeah, you gotta wonder if it was the potential width of the weight and stuff like that, if it was too thin of a weight on just the 2 of bamboo there for Carlos for the pure double sequence. A lot of players don't aim necessarily for specific Yaku, but just to aim for efficiency and try and end the hand and stuff like that. So with Ricci and all that sort of stuff, and with Carlos's luck a lot of the time with flipping Uradora, this is potentially a good amount of value just on its own. You don't have to hunt for Yaku necessarily.
We'll see. This is a tough situation here for these opponents because it was such an early Ricci, but it won't matter. Carlos is one of the players to finally find their own win. Ricci Pingfu Tsumo is going to be 2,700, 713. With a few extra points on top, does put Carlos in first. So Carlos is second overall currently with plus 28.53, about 6 points or 5 points below Link. But being in first place right now, currently leading the whole set.
Yeah, and our dealer here, Ipafuria, does not have a bad starting hand in any sense of the word here. Definitely some nice double-sided shapes here. Already one away as dealer, which could be relatively explosive. Finding that Ricci in first row, but our other competitors aren't necessarily so lucky. Link does have some good blocks, some good shapes, and some good floating tiles that could come together. The other players here having some honor tiles that might make their hand just that little bit slower, a little bit harder to get into Tenpai here, especially in the first row, like we might see from Ipafuria. So might be a little bit slower from everybody else as the dealer potentially reaches Tenpai here pretty quickly.
Hmm. This is an interesting situation here. Ipafuria did have an opportunity to maybe go for a mixed triple sequence in 456 or something like that, but decided to just keep their hand as is and just see if they can just get them by. Keeping the east is one of the examples of, sometimes it might, as the dealer in the east round, it's much more worth it to keep it because it is 2 points, right? So normally I feel like most players will keep a green dragon or an east, let's say, over an isolated 1 or a 9. But when it's the case with the dealer, when you have the east, it's even better because you get double the value.
Yes, and now it's Ipafuria finding the Ricci, waiting on the 2-5 of bamboo. Gonna be 2 in the wall for that, so not dead just yet. And of course could potentially come out from one of these hands, but the 5, not the first tile to come out, despite the 4 and the 8 already being in Ipafuria's discards.
Yeah, and this is exactly the hand that Ipafuria needs to win. This is the right moment, right hand. Ricci Pingfu, all simples, but Sumo would be huge. Carlos is progressing their own hand there.
Wow,
Oh,
finds
there
the
it is.
very last tile. Wow. Okay, so that's going to be Ipafuria there with Ricci Pinfu. All simples. Plus the sumo, of course, makes for a little bit of a fake Mangan here in the dealer seat. So that's going to be 7,800 points going to Ipafuria, and that puts them in first place here in East 3.
So Carlos found a nice hand in the previous round, and now Ipafuria was the one to get it. So that's going to be the first hand of the dealer for Ipafuria. Moving on to the first bonus hand of the dealer. And some nice shapes here. 1 Dora. The 6 of characters is the Dora, so Ipafuria could end up using it as well in the future. Link has spawned a green dragon already, so making a move towards a quick hand.
Certainly is. And, looking at the table, Ipafuria does have a very nice starting hand. Flandre as well has pretty good shapes in the starting hand with 2 Dora. So definitely going to be looking to lock in this amount of value and things like that. Maybe looking to drop either the hanging 4 or maybe the 7-9, something around there. Could come to fruition. Could get dropped as well. So now with that 5 pickup, though, the decision is pretty clear. 7-9 gets dropped here. So closer and closer to Tenpai there for Flandre.
And
The
Ipafuria
emote
is
as well.
still... Yeah, yeah, the emote. Oh, interesting draw here. Still went away. Ipafuria is also went away. Does have a pair of the East, as I was saying. The pair of the East can become the triplet to make 2 points, the double East. And with the red 5 and potentially the 6 as well, this hand could be another massive win.
I do like this decision here from Flandre, choosing between the pairs of the 9 of bamboo and the West. Already seeing a West in Link's discards, and based upon the discards before that 1 of bamboo, it does look like a half flush in the bamboo suit. So keeping those 9s is just like that much more risk averse, going for that pair rather than the pair of the West.
Yeah, they're both very safe pairs, but yeah, sometimes you can make these micro decisions that do actually help quite a bit. Furia does have a chance now to make the mixable sequence I was mentioning earlier with the draw of the Tree of Bamboo or the Tree of Characters. So either way, Tree of Characters or Six of Characters would be great.
It's gonna be Tenpai here for Link, waiting on the Three of Circles. One left in the wall to find, but you know, it will be just Green Dragon victory here for Link. But of course, that will give them the dealership. So it's gonna be a Ricci here for Flandre, and that weight also includes the Three of Circles. So we could see a double run come in here. So you know, it could also be the case that things get stolen away with a sumo, you know, waiting on the same tile. But oh man, want to see more of this multi-run action here.
And the 3-6 of Circles is a great weight. This hand has a lot of value. But, oh, Euphoria does find the Triple of the East. This could be scary.
Yeah, so I suppose now the decision gets a little bit more difficult here. If they do find like the 3-4-5 in either of the other suits here, they could drop the 7-8 and wait on the 3-6. And then we could see a triple run, perhaps, if that happens to go their way. But it could be the case that they'll just drop the East here and keep it as a pair.
This is a difficult situation. Yeah, I think discarding the East for the two-sided weight, usually, you know, I have been taught that when you are in a battle like this, especially more towards the end of the game, you want to have as wide a weight as possible, but it's not enough to save Euphoria from the deal in here. Going to be dealing into Ricci, painful. And Dora 5, going to be 12,000 points for Flandre.
Wow.
It's going to be a massive hand for Flandre, who was into this game as the underdog, now currently sitting in first place with 30,000 points.
Yep, and the emote to boot. So, you know, both of these players, Flandre and Euphoria, I'm seeing in the chat, people are rooting for them. You know, they're really, you know, they seem to be the two players that people are shouting out the most. So that kind of trade back and forth, I'm sure the chat is a little bit split on that. But, you know, there's this game and, of course, the next game to go. So it's not over for either of these competitors, despite that swap putting them in first and fourth place, you know, respectively here. So it's going to be KCOM Carlos pawning the Southwind and conning it thereafter. So this hand is about to get a little bit crazy as the one of characters also becomes a Dora here. So both the 1 and the 2 of characters are now Dora. So something like a 1, 2, 3 of characters is going to be a lot more valuable now. Across the way here, we do have Flandre picking up some nice tiles here, but still trying to find the original Dora here for a little bit of acceptance. But Euphoria also coming together, maybe finding a pure straight based on the tiles in their hand with Dora. So could be quite the hand here for Euphoria to get out of fourth place.
Oh, we do find Tempa here for Flandre. It's a small hand, but it is, you know, just ready to shut down Link's attempt to make a comeback here. It'll be interesting to see. I see a lot of people supporting Flandre, you know, denizen of the Scarlet Devil Mansion. We also do have Carlos from Brazil. I wonder who will win in this battle for the ages.
Yeah, the 7 is going to come out, and so Flandre here gonna get 2 in a row here for these hands. All simples is the hand here though, just 1,300 points with that 1 Han 40 Fu. So East 4 has concluded, and we are now in South 1 of Game 2.
So now it's going to be Carlos's chance to get a redo of the first round. See if this time he can mount the huge hand on his dealer. This is going to be the last chance these players are going to get on the dealer seat for this round, for this game. You know, they'll get a chance next game, but they got to make it count this time.
They certainly do. So, you know, some good shapes in Flandre's hand over there, but might be marred by some of these pairs in their hand currently. You know, a lot of pairs in their hand. There's a triplet and a pair in you know, Carlos's hand. So, and a couple pairs over there in Link's hand. So these are hands that with the point differential starting to go Flandre's way, you're maybe starting to think a little bit more about speed rather than just the value of your hand and stuff like that, trying to get these things completed, get these things done. So the more pairs that you're in your hand, the more callable your hand is to some degree, but also the less valuable. So going to be making some efficiency decisions here, are these competitors. So a lot of these pairs and stuff are coming into Flandre's hand, and we, you know, already have a triplet and a few pairs. So if you're dreaming for the long shot, you know, perhaps Suwanko, you know, for concealed triplets. But no, it's going to be a little bit of all simples here for Flandre, taking the guaranteed victory, not dreaming down the road, but the more practical, competitive version of that.
And on the left here, we do have Link with a pretty decent hand too. Dora too. Carlos did pick up the double Dora in the form of the red 5 pin. Since the Dora is the 5 of circles, that one is worth double. We'll see if Carlos can realize that into an actual hand though. The hands always look so shiny and so promising, but if you don't win them, you won't get your points. And Link is one away as well. Some very nice shapes, able to call into Tenpai. We'll see if he can mount the comeback after that deal in, right?
Yeah, we'll have to see. And the person trying the most for a comeback, perhaps, is Ipa Furia there across the table. A lot of honors and terminals in their hand, potentially looking at 13 orphans or like all honors and terminals or something like that. But it's Link here who now finds Tenpai as well, also on the 5/8 of bamboo. So this 8 of bamboo here in Ipa Furia's hand could spell disaster potentially. We'll have to see if this is where they decide to fold or if they're going to keep going for that. So they do fold. They avoid that disaster and stuff like that. So very, very good for them.
Still haven't found Tenpai yet. This is an improvement for Carlos, but we got that Tenpai.
Two players have, you know, made those calls, those pawns. So, you know, you're starting to think about, especially by the end of the second row, you know, one pawn doesn't always mean Tenpai, but by the end of the second row, you're thinking, yeah, they're probably there. They're probably, you know, in Tenpai or at least one away. So this is where these decisions start to get scary. And it'll be Carlos now in Tenpai as well. So 3 players now in Tenpai. Carlos on the 4 of circles now. With a little bit of wiggle room, but it's Link who finds a red 5, in fact. So that's going to be an entire 3 Dora for them, plus the all simples here for 430 Fu, 7,900, and that is a good swing there for Link, heading into South 2.
We'll see now if Flandre is able to mount this comeback even higher. Link did just springboard themselves into first by 100 points, but just like Flandre's won these hands before, I'm sure they can mount another big win here as the dealer. It's going to be the last chance at the dealership. Carlos did just have their dealership stolen by Link with a huge hand.
Yeah, and if we're looking at these, you know, starting hands here, Ipafuria discarding two of the two of characters, which is not the greatest, but sometimes things backfire, and that's fine, especially with a hand like this. Definitely has some nice shapes here in hand, a lot of double-sided weights and things like that. Looking good as far as potential tempai here goes for Ipafuria. Across the way here, a little bit less so for Link. Definitely has a lot more broken up shapes and things like that. And then KCOM Carlos, of course, calling that green dragon now, looking to finish out some of these shapes, but of course some disconnected tiles and stuff like that, finding some things here with that 7 of bamboo for some potential there. But everybody's starting to open their hand now. It's feeling, if you're gonna call, I'm gonna call. I'm not gonna get left behind, especially Flandre now as dealer, looking to not just stay in second, but overtake Link, who's only 100 points ahead of him.
Carlos did just pick up a nice tree of circles here. Does fit nicely in a 2-4. One step closer to a ready hand.
Oh, that 4 is a nice pickup for Ipafuria here. Gonna be 1 away from Tenpai now. Excuse me, that might be 2 away from Tenpai actually. So here probably looks like a cheat from Flandre now getting into Tenpai as well, but has to decide what they want to wait on, and it will be the double pair weight, sort of widening that potential acceptance there from just the 6 of bamboo.
Mm-hmm. This is a great tile here for you. Now 1 away. A lot of tiles to give Tenpai here, and a lot of really valuable wins possibly here. 3 Dora and some nice shapes. It's not quite Tenpai yet, but very close.
Yeah, and Flandre is gonna swap weights here from the 8 and the 5 as pairs to 3, 6 of bamboo. 7 tiles remaining in the wall for this weight. Very, very good hit rate chance here, but it's Link across the way who you should be afraid of, because they're getting close to like almost like 7 pairs, but also potentially a full flush and stuff like that. So it could, if Flandre is unlucky here, we could see a giant hand from Link potentially, but it will be Flandre coming through as Carlos gets into the Tenpai, but it will be for nothing because Flandre finds all simples red 5 as the dealer, which will be 1,000 from each competitor for 3,000 points overall here. So staying in the dealer seat, fighting for first place, because coming into this game, Flandre was 4th place there. Over on the left, you can see they were at negative 15.35. So the points here are, really, really necessary for Flandre to set themselves up for a great chance at winning the whole thing in Game 3.
And that will go a long way towards that goal. We'll see if the other participants will get in the way, though. They're all trying to go for the same wins.
And already some good shapes in Ipafuria's hand here. Some double-sided shapes, but also the triplet of the 8s in hand already in the circle suit. So already has some things sort of pre-built for them in this hand as we're starting to cycle through tiles here. So pretty good.
A great draw here for Link. Does put them into a 1 away for Richie with 1 Dora, possibly the double sequence.
Double sequence is a possibility, but yeah, this is still 2 away, as you're saying. So it will be denied for now. Definitely looking for some faster hands. Link has been a player that we have seen sort of either, luck into these pure double sequences. We saw it a lot in semifinals.
Oh, there it is.
So now doesn't have to call Richie, as they love to do. They love to stay in this Shadow Tenpai. And just waiting on the 7 of characters here, none of them have been drawn by competitors. So, you know,
Oh,
some
that's why
left in the
wait
mold.
one turn. Now finding
But that's
Tenpai again with now 2 Dora, possibly 3 on the 8 of characters away.
yeah, deciding that they don't need the, the Ricci. Just waiting on, you know, the unexpected victim here, to deal into this pure double sequence to Dora. So, potentially, pretty good hand here despite not calling Ricci necessarily. So, gonna swamp the weight though. This is now 7 pairs.
Wow.
Waiting on the one of bamboo. So finding all the more value here because that upgrades it to, um, a hand that would be, 6,400 points rather than, whatever it was before, 3,900 or something. So, yeah.
Oh, and there it is. Link's gonna find it. 6,400, as he said, with an extra 300 from the bonus hand. 6,700. Gonna put Link in first place now. Very, very wise choice there to swap. You always have to be aware of all the different ways your hand could be.
Absolutely. And you know what? I think that might be like the first 7 pairs, certainly at the night tonight, but in the entire tournament, we've only seen 1 or 2 7 pairs come through here. It's definitely a little bit more of a rarity this tournament. Normally, you get like 1 a game or so, I feel. But these competitors just, know all their efficiency and stuff like that. They're not fooling around with 7 pairs if they don't have to. So at the moment, this is still sort of a battle between Flandre and Link, trying to get those points in either first or second place here. Link already coming into this as first place in terms of the results from game 1, and Flandre trying to flip the script, of course, trying to win first place after coming in fourth. So these points really, really matter to Flandre, but Link is a player that, as we've talked about through this broadcast, is particularly defensive. So even as these aggressive calls come out from Flandre to try and win and trying to get the game moving and things like that, Link is unlikely to be a player that you get a direct hit off of and things like that. So gonna be tough to find this first place for Flandre despite all the effort here.
Some players choose to match the speed of an opponent like Flandre who makes these calls, and some just sit back and look for the counterattack, right? Or just get out of the way. So it's very interesting to see that even at this high level of play, we still see, variations in playstyle.
Yeah. And something that gets talked about in some, circles is that Ricci is not a two-dimensional game. It is not like a single player game. There are other people around you. There's 3 other people. So you're not just looking at the 2D dimension binary of push fold, right? There's also like deny and assist. And so we've seen some of the denial and stuff like that with people calling for swapping the high tay and stuff like that. But sometimes with an aggressive player, you can get other people to kind of deal in for you. But it's going to be Iba Furia here calling Ricci on this 7 of circles. All of them are unavailable for sumo, but could potentially come out of somebody's hand here. So, gotta wait and see.
It's a bit unfortunate though, because now Link is just gotten into Tenpai for 4 and 7 of bamboo. Currently just waiting for those tiles. Not a lot of value, but has found the value in being able to stop this hand from Iba Furia. It will be a matter of, can Flandre find the win first, or are they going to deal into Link now? This looks like very difficult to avoid, but they find it.
Wow.
But instead, Iba Furia deals in right immediately with the same tile. So Bingfu only, so 1,000 points. Going to steal our Ricci stick. And unfortunately shutting down the Iba Furia's last dealership this game.
Yeah. Tough for Iba Furia. kind of a blessing in disguise for Flandre. A very, very necessary and well-timed fold from Flandre there to dodge that. It would only be 1,000 points, but that as that point differential grows, the risks that you have to take to make up that point differential also grows. So a little bit, nicer for Flandre to not have to make that up here as we go along. This hand doesn't look too bad for Link as a starting point. Does have some different middleweights and stuff like that that have to get filled, but already dropping the red 5, deciding that it's not worth the baggage, just trying to speed things along and finish out this game as fast as they can here, which definitely makes sense. But across the way, Flandre, their direct competition here, has a potential for mixed triple sequence here and also pure double sequence. So this could be a pretty explosive hand from Flandre, assuming it comes together, which might be a little bit difficult, but could happen here. Gotta set up the hype as the commentary. So looking for that as we move forward.
I'll be looking for that too. See if Euphoria can find something here. They need to find any sort of hand they can, and maybe this might be a play for. I guess it's difficult to say. Flandre currently progressing their own hand, possibly going into another one of those 7 pairs that we just saw. Carlos finding a nice tile here. Could set up their comeback in the second. Flandre, who's also 1 away right now. Very nice hand here forming for possibly a Richie Painful, even with a chance of mixed triple sequence.
Yeah. No one is to be left out, though. I mean, other players are still heading towards Tenpai. Carlos, not looking terrible. Still heading towards Tenpai here. Has a little bit of baggage with like the 9 of characters and things like that, but we could certainly see this hand come together. Now here, potentially for this, this 1 away of 7 pairs, Link looking to wait on one of those 9s, most likely, just based on hit rate and things like that. But we have to have it come in before we can, do anything with this, which is the weakness that gets, the most spotlight with 7 pairs, is that you can be stuck in this 1 away state forever, just waiting on one of these 3 tiles to come in.
I think one of the strengths of 7 pair though is that you can set up these situations where your opponent might be looking for example, in this case, Link has the 5 as a pair and the 8, so that can be, for example, look at Flandre's hand, looking for the 5 and the 8, so that can kind of create this deadlock in the hands, right? Because nobody can make the progress. Meanwhile, the 7 pairs player is able to move their hand around more flexibly, even defend in the future, and keep themselves non-committed, but still possibly making a hand.
This is going to be Tenpai actually for Flandre. Does have mixed triple sequence here on the 4, 5, 6. 7 coming in to Carlos's hand. Some danger here, but drops the 2, waiting now on the 5 of characters. And actually, Link also now finding Tenpai could end up dropping that 7. We could see it come out.
Oh, this might be scary. No! Oh, there's Tenpai. It's gonna be a Ron. Dropping the 7 of characters straight into Flandre's hand. Is that enough to swap them? It is. So Flandre will take first in this game. That silent Tenpai striking Link, shutting down that first place with the comeback.
Wow. All right. So that'll be Flandre, 36,800 points. Link in second place here with 33,800. Not a huge difference there. KCOM Carlos at 21,000 exactly. And Ipafuria at 8,400 there for game 2 of Catfood Bowl Minor Spring Bloom final.
Awesome. That was awesome. I wonder if we. Okay, I think we might have all the scores ready, in case we want to take a look. So there it is. We saw the scores for these players. And this is where they stand right now.
Yes. So these are the scores, sort of like the delta and stuff like that, like in game 2 and things like that. So this is like the change and things like that. So looking over at the scores over on the right. So some of these scores. Sorry, I'm trying to collect my thoughts. So with certain conditions here, these players can get into different positions. So Flandre needs to win and beat Link by roughly 26 points and get first place there. Or we could see like them get like 16.3 points and get second place. All these different things. There's a lot of different ways for Flandre to get first here. And then Link, of course, has to win, right, and stay there. Or they could get second and get second by less than 18.1 here. So, so game 2, I do believe we're gonna have updated scores here, just because the total is correct, but game 2, the delta is like a little bit.
Yeah, so we just saw the scores of game 2. It seems like we have a little bit of a technical error here on screen, but it's okay. The totals are correct. We'll have them up shortly for you guys. But yeah, so Link does still carry the first place lead with 47.7, but it's going to be around a 30-point gap between Link, Keiko Carlos, who's at plus 19.53, Flandre at 11.5 is, 8 points behind, so not too big of a gap between those two contestants, right? But Epiforia, with those two last games, is currently at minus 16.5, so they're going to be going into this final game, and there we go, have the scores perfectly there. Yeah, Flandre did take the first at plus 26.8, Link right behind at second at minus 13.8 in the last exchange that we saw. So that was enough to, really boost up Flandre's score. Coming in, was in, I believe, the 4th place. So now, in 3rd is an improvement. And now they do have the chance to cause another upset, right? Against Link and see where they go. So they all have a very good, very real chance, or at least they have a real chance of improving their placement, right? And getting one of those prize jumps.
Yeah. So if you're looking for anybody but Link to win, a lot of the win conditions stem around Link getting 3rd or 4th place in this next game. So if you're rooting for Carlos, if you're rooting for Flandre especially, those sort of scenarios are where you're going to see the scores flip here. So this is a very important battle for Link to avoid 4th, certainly, in this game, and play defensively as they have been. So they are the player to beat here.
So we'll see how these players' total points might influence the future play that they'll have. And however, we do also have some other stuff for you guys that you might be interested in.
Oh.
And here with me, Penelope, why don't you introduce for us?
Absolutely. So we have some absolutely excellent players. They are super gifted, but now you too can share in the gift with this gift code here from Mahjong Soul. So you have to go to the browser client specifically, and so you can go to the browser client. There's a little gear in the top right. If you've been doing this in the quarterfinals and the semifinals, you know what I'm about to say. You go to settings, others, and then gift code, and then you can type in the following code: EESQSXTMADAH, and that expires tomorrow at the same time that this stream started. So 7 p.m. UTC 7, which is also 9 p.m. Eastern time, stuff like that. So Make sure you get it in. Make sure you send the code to your friends, or get them in the stream right now and make them, watch and all that sort of stuff. So here is the code for you here. Um, Again, make sure it's the browser client here. But also, just because we got a gift code, that doesn't mean that it's the end of the stuff that we're giving away here. Because you might have to get lucky to beat Link right now, but you don't have to be that lucky to maybe win this lucky draw here. This is the Fortune Charm for 30 days here, and so right now you have to answer what I'm about to ask you. Right now, who are you rooting for in the top 4 right now? Who is your dark horse? Who are you rooting for? Who do you want to win the whole thing? Is it Link? Is it Carlos? Is it Flandre? Is it Ipafuria? I've seen a lot of love for Ipafuria as well. So root for your favorite contestant in the top 4. Leave their name in the live chat, and we're going to draw a winner here. And you can contact us by email if you are the lucky winner at mjs.cs@yo-star.com. And so you're going to be able to send in your YouTube profile, a screenshot there, and also your Mahjong Soul name and user ID. And so they'll know that it's your ID and your account, and also your YouTube account, of course. So put in the chat, who are you rooting for? Irie, who are you rooting for? Or are you not?
I'm rooting for. It's a tough question, isn't it? I mean, as a caster, I want to root for the most exciting mahjong we can get in this game 3, but I won't lie. I mean, we always have, right? The one we're like underneath cheering for. I have never seen Carlos play. Ipafuria has been performing exceptionally this whole tournament. Unfortunately, taking a little bit of a hit in this series today, but I still believe in the comeback.
Yes, absolutely. For me personally, I have to root for the underdog. Ipafuria currently in last place. It's been an underdog story the entire way, but there has been a little bit of an update to that story. As I've been commentating here, I did get a message. So originally the story was, Ipafuria's Master 3, everybody else is Saint, all that sort of stuff. Turns out they're Saint in 3-player Mahjong, right? And also Master 3 and 4-player. But now I have been told that they only played 4-player to get their rank to the point where they could play in Catfood Bowl, which is just like the coolest thing ever. It's like, oh yeah,
wow.
I'm here just to get
just
bud,
casually, just
you
casually
people are
guess the
fighting
Master
for your
3.
rank. This is just what I do, that's awesome. So I gotta root for Flandre. Mad respect to that, and of course thanks to Entry User for telling me that, one of our quarterfinals contestants. So we do have a winner here. Rooting for Link, the current frontrunner, is Lemoncello. So thank you so much, rooting for Link. Hopefully, your frontrunner ends up winning for you there. But if not, you did get lucky here, and you got to win this lucky draw. So be sure to contact us by email at mjs.cs@go-star.com here, and send your YouTube profile and your Mahjong Soul profile. So Lemoncello, congrats. And that is actually going to be it for me for Tenhote, but we do have this next game coming up. So if you want more from me, you can find me on YouTube and Twitch. And you know what? I'm so excited to watch this game 3. I'm just going to get out of your hair. Tips is coming right back. So thank you all for having me. Goodbye.
Thank you so much, Tenhote. You've been amazing as always. And hello now I have here with me Tips.
Hello. Thank you, Tenhote. You brought the luck, you brought the draw, you brought the gifts, and now it's time to bring the tournament to its close. Game 3. We had a couple blips in the back there with the scores. The totals were correct, but game 2 took a little bit of finagling to put in its proper place. But we have confirmation now from our data scientists deep in the laboratory that these numbers should be correct. Someone double check. Well, it's been quadruple checked by now, but you can make a quintuple check.
Well, Tibbs, talk to me. Talk to me. What are they fighting for? What do they need to get here in order to, get what they want?
That's a good point. So if we look at the rules again pretty fast, the main thing to look at is in the top right. The UMA is 15-5. The position points are 15-5. What that means is first place gets an extra 15 points. Last place loses an extra 15 points. And second and third, they swap 5 points between them. So when we look at the overall scores again, the slide wants to slide not to the same slide. Here we are. Link is currently up by 27 points, a little more than 27. And so that means for Carlos to get ahead of Link with the 15 points from first place, they would still need Link to either take a minus, so either third or fourth, or they would need to get 12,000 points, because these points are divided by 1,000 here. So they would need to get another 12,000 points on top of being ahead of Link in second place.
Oof.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
it is quite a bit.
So Link is quite ahead.
Yeah, so
What about the other ones?
Flandre here is 8 points behind Carlos, so in the same way, Flandre would need, instead of 12, add 8 to that, about 20,000 points ahead if Link does come in second. Of course, if Link comes in third, then the requirements are a little loosened, and then Ipafuria in the bottom spot, who is 28 points behind Flandre, would need on top of that 20 another 28, so like 48,000 points ahead. So it is a long road for Ipafuria, but as we mentioned, Ipafuria has been up and down this entire tournament, and so if they can find the big up here, they might be able to take it down. We have...
All right, I guess they got their work cut out for them. Let's see if they can do it.
Yeah, we do have some time of players all calculating, making these calculations for themselves. Of course, we make no guarantees of exactamundo here on the commentary, so they're all making these calculations, making sure they're exact. I did a little bit of rounding, a little bit of estimation. They're probably writing it down now. Got it on a notepad, maybe even a sticky note. Some people, the muscle memory of actually writing it down and like putting it on a sticky note, I was a little bit surprised, but when I tried it, it makes more sense. Like, you have a real sticky pad and you write the small notes on a sticky pad and you stick it beside your monitor, and it feels like you remember it better that way.
Well, it's very interesting. I'll have to give it a try.
Yeah, and our players
we'll still have some.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I wonder if we're still gonna get any more tips or maybe some new tricks during the stream as we watch these players.
Well, that's what I'm here for. As we go into game number 3, the overlay is there. All their scores as have been there the entire stream. A lot more important now. So I think a lot of more people will be looking at that left page there. Brought to you by Yostar and Reach Mahjong of New York. If you're excited for these finals, thumbs up the stream to show your excitement. And make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can keep updated on the next one and the next one. And we actually have a few goodies, a few surprises at the end of the stream, so stay tuned for that as well.
Ooh, stick around, guys. Never know what's coming. It might be some hidden Dora.
Yeah, just like Mahjong, you never know what's coming from the wall, but it can please you, and it can also seal your fate. Flandre making a very tough decision here. Yeah, Flandre breaks the 8-9 edge weight here in order to look for something around the middle. Flandre does already have 5 shapes. knows Link is moving quickly, might even be already be playing defense. We have Carlos on the left and Link on the right, both with Yakuhai calls, honor triplets. Link is holding a Dora 6-0, not willing to discard it. Same with Ipa Furia, they both have isolated 6-0. And now it's really stuck, I think. Yep, Carlos does choose to wait for the more expensive side. Slightly harder to get the tile, but might come out right now. As we mentioned, Ipa Furia doesn't have too much room to play safe. They need a lot of points to advance to, well, not advance, to be the champion. Although, it is interesting to note, yeah.
That Link, you know, has one of those 6 of them move that Carlos is looking for. Now, only the 2 of them was left, but it was looking like Link might discard it, but now after that pickup, Link is definitely going to keep it around, and now 1 away as well, but Carlos is the first one to find the Tsuno. So North with 2 Dora.
Yeah, Carlos's aggressive play has been giving him a lot of East 1 wins in these games. Carlos seems to have the East 1 on lock. I remember we mentioned that it's a very controversial topic on which dealer seat you want to open up with. It feels like Carlos wants to be first dealer because he can make a lot of points when that happens. Unfortunately for him, he's not first dealer this time, so he'll have to settle with the non-dealer payment. But still a lead. Still an opening gambit here. Opening salvo for Carlos in East 1.
We'll see if Link can open up with another crazy hand here. It doesn't need to win a lot of points, but you know, if Link can find a win with these 2 Dora in hand, would definitely cement a huge lead and make it that much harder for them to overtake.
Yeah,
that first place spot.
Ipa Furia pairs up south here, which would be 1 step on their way to the top spot. That big comeback we mentioned is not impossible. Ipa Furia has made comebacks before, has managed to make it all the way to first place in the standings coming into, you know, the semifinals, and was second coming into the finals. So has been up, has been down, needs to be up again if they want the trophy. Of course, one thing that kind of gets forgotten is that the Catfood Bowl is not a winner-take-all tournament. There are a lot of tournaments where you're expected to only go for first place because there's really only rewards for first place. But we did read through the prizes. I mean, we'll go through them again when it's all said and done. But there are prizes for second, third, and fourth too. So if it comes to closer to the end of the game, players might be jockeying for second and third as well, not necessarily just first.
Yeah, so even though these players, like for example, Ipa Furia might not be able in this particular game, it's still possible because we're still at the beginning of the game. But in the end, if it's not possible to get that first, they might have to play for second or maybe play for third. And you know, that's sometimes the best you can do. We'll see what comes about though. Link did pawn this, cheat this 2-man for the 2-4-man, possibly just looking to make any sort of hand or maybe eventually pivot into an old symbols.
And as I was talking about that, Ipa Furia might not have to worry about that right now. This is already a hand that looks like first place potential is there. Ipa Furia has all 3 red 5s. One of them is a double Dora, so worth 2 Dora. 4 Dora in hand for Ipa Furia. They need to break the curse of Dora that's been over our players' hands in this Catfood Bowl. They need to cash in these Dora.
Oh, Dora 3 now for Link.
Yeah.
Not able to win it though.
So now we have
pivot into this all simples.
Every single Dora accounted for right now. Other players don't know it because Ipa Furia's Dora are all hidden, but this is every Dora in the game right now. There are none left in the wall, no Dora left in the wall unless somebody cons and makes more. I suppose also Richie makes more Dora when you win. So Carlos might be able to find some Uradora. And that's another deal in top, but it's also a con opportunity. A lot of different choices here.
But the 5-man, The 8-1 will deal in.
Yeah, that's a
Almost
tough
had
break.
all of Carlos' styles, but
Yeah, but discarded one of them. That's a pretty tough break for Ipafuria. Had the big chance, but the Dora curse looms on. Not able to connect the Dora. Neither did Link. Link, who got the Dora, was also unable to connect. So, as we continue
Ipafuria's
into
dealer though,
E3,
so
yes, this is their
yeah, and
chance.
he's straight. Yeah, we'll see if what they can make of this. Carlos is, you know, in a pretty good position now. Leading by about 8,000 points. A little bit more than that. So, definitely a good start.
Yeah. Link is currently in second, so Link would win if the scores end like this. Carlos would need about 5,000 more points or to overtake. Well, Link would get +5 in this case, so actually Carlos would only get 10. You know, yeah, Carlos
There's
needs
a little bit.
yeah, needs like 10,000, 10 to 15,000 more points if Link is holding on to second place. But as soon as Link drops into third, Carlos has a lot of more breathing room. Let's see. Ipafuria has a pretty good chance at coming back here. Once again, not quite as many Doras last time, but that's 6, so 2 of them are still in the wall, and Ipafuria is looking for them. Are other players not letting up though? Link can have a very fast callable hand. Ipafuria with a really good draw, and Carlos's hand is moving quickly as well, even if he can't exactly call yet.
Another triplet being picked up here.
Yep. This is big. It's a real triplet round. Not a lot of times when it's a triplet round, it's like pairs, because to get a triplet you got to draw a pair first. But this round is really a lot of triplets. We'll see if Carlos goes for pairs here, because he does have 1 triplet, 4 pairs. Could make it 5 pairs.
Wow, this is an interesting hand here from Carlos. You don't usually see this many pairs and triplets. We might end up seeing an all triplets hand here.
Yeah.
Ipafuria as well. It's so many.
This has Yakuman potential still in the mix. He could still draw all of them for 4 concealed triplets. Suanko Yakuman. Flandre is moving 1 away. Might be able to make mixed sequences. No con here from Ipafuria. Doesn't want to lose the value. Makes a lot of sense. But that does allow Link to make a chi. Now Ipafuria is going to chi, matching the chi, matching speed for speed. Unfortunately, a lot of Ipafuria's tiles in Link's hand, and Link not really looking like they're going to discard any of them. Still 2 left in the wall, though. So
No, 1 away now for Carlos.
Yeah, you mentioned that Carlos might go for all triplets, and he has made the call. I think call begets call begets call. They all call together. Flandre with a tough draw now.
And the trio bamboo is going to deal into the dealer's hand here. Tanya Dora. No Dora too, but 2,900 nonetheless. It's going to inch the game slightly in favor of Ipafuria, now climbing out of 4th, swapping with Flandre, and now first bonus repeat of the East Street round for dealer for Ipafuria. See what they can make of this one. You know, first you got to start off with a sort of medium-sized hand, like we just saw, and then that's when the bigger hand comes, right?
Right. It's an ascending, a crescendo, a climactic build. It's good for business, you know.
It's the hop, skip, and the jump.
Yes. The triple jump format. Triple jump theory here. You can only make full momentum by starting.
It's true. Carlos already starting here with some momentum as well. The pawn of the 1 pin signaling to their opponents. This is definitely, you know, something to watch out for at the very least. And now getting Tenpai on the 1-4 bamboo, not a lot of value, but can make this into an all triplets with double Yakuhai. Could be a nice hand here.
Yeah, also could just take the win now. Still needs more points to overtake Link. But if Carlos actually does direct hit Link here, that would put Link into 3rd place. And that might be enough for Carlos to be temporarily in 1st overall. Of course, I think you're right, and that he probably wants the bigger points. Flandre getting a huge break here, might be able to break the Dora curse. Flandre has 3 1s, and Link has 3 red 5s. They're both very close to Tempai here, so Carlos...
hand as well.
Yeah, Carlos trying to shut this down, and he does. He's able to find one of his many weights. He did have a lot of weights in the wall, so not that surprising, but Link, Flandre, and honestly, even Ipa Furia, who's the dealer, probably all not too pleased about Carlos snatching their big chance away from them. But I'm sure Carlos is pretty happy about that, knowing what could happen.
They do say that, you know, the best player to really shut down the dealer's play is the South player, right? Because as the dealer progresses their own hand, they're going to help, you know, the South player progress their hand. So in a way, it kind of forms a little sequence of like a little pattern, right? So it makes sense that Carlos was the one to shut down Furia's hand, and let's see what Carlos can make of it this time, or if Flandre is going to shut them down.
Right. Carlos has been doing it even when he's not in the South seat, but that is right. That's something Tenote brought up, and it's something it's we didn't come up with it, all right. It was there before us. The other interesting thing to note is, even though it's a small difference, East player gets the first crack, right, at drawing and discarding. So even without the dealer advantage, they're the highest chance of winning because they go first. And in that vein of thinking, South is the second highest chance of winning because they go second, assuming nobody gets like a first turn pawn, which very rarely happens, but does happen sometimes. But in general, that's another reason why South is the one to stop them.
And South might be the one to stop this hand as well, as Flandre moves into 1 away for mixed triple sequence Dora. So if this is a natural draw, it could be quite a huge hand.
Yes.
We'll see.
Flandre might actually be willing to call here, but Flandre does need a lot of points. Not quite as many as Ipa Furia, but might pass the first maybe Tempai tile. Thing is, when you have these inside and edge weights, these Kanchan and Penchan weights for mixed triple sequence, it's hard to pass up your tiles because there aren't many of them and you need them to win.
Yeah, we'll see if Flandre can find that here. It would be a nice hand to win in order to, you know, start making those jumps in placement. Right now, we need to ideally be above Carlos and above Link as well, but oh, it's Link who finds the Tempai first. Richie on a 6-9 pin. Looks like it's not going to be a Pinfu, but it is a 2-sided weight, so quite a reasonable chance here to win, and quite a lot of value as well, depending.
But Furia here, not much room to fold. As we mentioned, every hand is a chance to score big for Ipa Furia, who needs to score huge.
Ooh, Tempai as well for Ipa Furia. Now, Richie, Pinfu, Tanya, Eldora too. A possible pure double sequence. This could be a huge hand. Unfortunately, all the tiles are in people's hands, so I don't know if it's possible. And instead, going to deal into Link. The Richie Dora with 1 Oradora, the hidden Dora for the 5,200 points. Going to be a huge blow, and Ipa Furia's chance to come back here, even into 2nd or 3rd place.
Yeah, that was a good look. That was a good opportunity for Ipa Furia. Just was not the time. You know, a lot of times when you're waiting on 4-7 or 3 and 6 for your open-ended weight, your Ryanmen, the higher level you get, the more they say the 4-7 and the 3-6 weight might not actually be as strong. And we saw Link here with the 6-9 weight. When you looked at the discard pile, they both looked about even. But because we had the extra knowledge of tiles in players' hands, those inside tiles like the 4 and the 7, much more likely to be used in other players' hands. And so we saw the 6-9 had many more tiles than the 4-7, which had no tiles in the wall in the end. But that's nothing against Ipafuria. It's simply the way the tiles rolled out, and we just saw an example of it here. All that to say, tough break.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Koremo Mata.
Yeah, there's not really too much Ipafuria could have done to change their weight in the end. They need a lot of value. They had the chance for the twin sequence, and there were just none left.
We'll see if Link can win this hand here, though, with a triplet of the White Dragon, currently one away with a very wide weight, chance of using even more Dora, and there it is, Tenpai. Will they reach it? No, just chooses for the silent Tenpai, just hoping to shut down Ipafuria or, you know, one of these dealer's hands. Link recognizing that he's in first, does not need a lot of points, just going to go for the simple end to shut it down.
Yeah, this is a massive weight. It's very tempting to reach it. And might not even necessarily be wrong. And in fact, Link also believes that as well. After seeing, I think what convinced Link to reach is that Ipafuria started discarding some bamboo tiles, and Link is waiting on a lot of the bamboo tiles, so probably wants to put some pressure on Ipafuria. Either that or some people just wait one turn to see if they can get it, you know?
Oh, and it's gonna be a Richie here for Flandre. Will they choose the Richie? And there it is. It's gonna be Richie, Dora, White Dragon for a huge 5,200 point hand. So now Link is someone to strike Flandre, putting them down back into fourth.
That's Flandre's last dealer turn of the tournament. So that's a tough break. Flandre is going to have to go for something big. Tenote did mention Flandre, highest Yakuman rate of all of our players here. So if anyone can do it, you know who to look at. Perhaps the emotes will draw in the, let's see, maybe the 13 orphans, you know?
It would really be a gift to these players if they were able to get such a hand like that.
Yeah, we definitely have game to play. It's a lot harder when you don't have a dealer turn, but definitely not impossible. Flandre actually has a pretty reasonable Kinfu style hand here, which is a few points. It's a start. It's not enough to claim the title, not enough to snatch the crown from the other players, but maybe with some more big hands, as you mentioned. Start the ball rolling, start the snowball, and eventually you can create a beautiful snowman Mahjong trophy. A snow trophy. What about that?
We'll see what kind of hand these players are gonna have to create in order to realize that future attempts. Like here, still trying to get that Tenpai here. Doesn't really need a lot more points, but it's gonna be Carlos is gonna be the closest one to challenging, to dethroning Link from this first place, not only in the tournament but also in this game. So we'll see what Carlos can make of it.
Yeah, everyone's running a very fast Kinfu style hand, using a lot of inside tiles. Carlos the only one using some outside tiles. So while Carlos probably not going to end up with a Tanyao hand on the inside, he is still using a lot of the inside tiles. And when so many players are using inside tiles, that means there's a lot of jamming, a lot of congestion, a lot of players holding other players' tiles. Although, interestingly enough, only one of Flandre's winning tiles being held right now. So Flandre has lucked out with the good weight here. 6 tiles on the wall.
Yeah, quite a light weight. We'll see. Link is probably just gonna fold this, recognizing, you know, they're in first, doesn't need to deal into this. Flandre gonna be looking for this hand to win. We'll see if they can make it. 6 circles would guarantee a Mangan.
Yeah, the 6 would be the big one. Half as likely, but twice as valuable. So balances it out there. Good draw here for Ipafuria. But Ipafuria's hand is just... There's so many dangerous tiles left, but Ipafuria kind of doesn't have a choice. Link also only has inside tiles left, so a lot of danger for them as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Carlos, I mentioned at the beginning, actually also has moved to all inside tiles. So here we go.
And Carlos does have a chance here to get into Tempai by calling. So I think out of all these players, definitely the one with the biggest potential to make a comeback here in the sound. Still looking for that Tempai.
Yeah, Ipafuria now 1 away as well. Ooh, Link using some of the only save tiles available to them, but they are going to be out of save tiles again when the next hand comes around. Never mind, Ipafuria gives Link another save tile in the 7, so we'll be able to use that. What a draw for Ipafuria. It would deal in, but it's also very usable.
Mm-hmm.
And here's Tempai for Carlos if he's going for it. There's definitely arguments both ways, but those two red Dora seem all too shiny here. And he goes for it.
Call it. So it's a 3-5 of characters weight, currently not available to be drawn. However, these players do have them in their hands, so we could maybe see a push here. So not going to be a push by Ipafuria, waiting on the 3-6, only 1-6 available, but instead Ipafuria deals into Flandre yet again. Richie not working out for Ipafuria.
And that is a tough break for Ipafuria. It is a boon for Flandre, as we mentioned. No more dealer turns for Flandre, so they are going to need some big hands, and that was a medium to big size hand. That's 1. They're gonna need at least one hand that's bigger than that though to end this out, because they only have 2 attempts maximum, really. 2 more wins. Other people can win, redeal, go to draw, but Flandre can realistically only win 2 more times for the rest of the game. The Link and Carlos battle is still very close. Carlos losing 1,000 points to Richie there. Link not reaching, so actually gains 1,000 points on Carlos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But in the end, I feel like the 1,000 points might not be the difference after all. It seems like Carlos really just needs to find a huge hand here in Cell 4 and hopefully somehow make a direct hit of Link. But Carlos is sitting, very comfortably in second currently.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we mentioned, is that if Link goes to 3rd place instead of 2nd, or 1st as they are right now, it gets a lot easier for the other 3 players to win. But because Link is quite ahead of most of the other players other than Carlos, even if Carlos is able to put himself into 1st place, he's going to need a big point gap if Link doesn't fall below Flandre or Ipafuria. And of course, Ipafuria not willing to let go of the dealer turn here whatsoever. This is really their final chance because of all the points they need to make up. It looked really good to start off, and so far it's getting better, but it's a little slower than expected. We'll see just what happens. That was a good draw, though, pairing up the 8, so Ipafuria now can connect to either 6 Mon or 6 Pin for Tempai.
Mm-hmm.
Carlos.
Doesn't seem like anyone is quite up to speed. I think Carlos might be the closest one, as you were about to say, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Link is moving.
Okay.
Link is getting there. Flandre is playing for more points, which is, I think, part of the reason why Flandre's hand is so slow right now. It's because they need a lot of points, as mentioned. So they are playing maybe for a half flush here, maybe for some sort of triplet hand, maybe for 7 pairs, anything that delivers more value than just like White Dragon Dora 1.
Mhm.
Oh, but
It would not surprise me to
huge
see
pickup.
that the White Dragon would probably be skipped if a chance to pawn it showed up, but Link did just get Tenpai now, waiting on that 8 of bamboo. Gonna be sneakily waiting for that win to come by.
Yeah, classic
Flandre does
Link
make a call
silent
here.
Tenpai. So this is going to be a flush attempt. Whether it's half or full is yet to be seen. Probably just a half flush considering Flandre already has 2 white dragons. That would be a lot to discard. And even pulls an extra Dora, so Flandre... You know, if Flandre could pull another Dora... There is still one in the wall. Might be able to reach 6 Han for a Hanemon, and that would really be nice. Currently looking at White Dragon half flush 2 Dora for 5, which is
Yeah, that would be Mangan.
Mangan.
Yeah, we'll see if Flandre can get this. There's still the 5-8 of bamboo now upgraded for Link. Another upgrade does not help very much unless they decide to reach.
Interesting spot here. Going to just discard it. Willing to take the risk even into the half flush. Link trying to close it out now. Lock the game down. But not willing enough to do a Reachy. Figures that kind of risk is unnecessary. Because earlier on we said that the 100 points, 1,000 points probably won't matter. Might matter here. Now that we're close to the end of the game, Carlos manages to pull out a first. 1,000 points could make the difference.
Oh, Tenpai for Euphoria. The one way to avoid dealing in, unfortunately unable to win the current hand, but might be enough to get the other players to fold.
Yeah, this is a tough wait. This is a lot in your hand, right? It's
Oh, Tenpai as well for Carlos. Trio bamboo.
Here we go. The 3 of bamboo, the 3 so late. But Euphoria can see all the 9 so on board, but doesn't have much time to do anything else. There's barely any draws left. But will anybody draw their final tile here? One more draw per player unless a call is made. Euphoria, none left in the wall. Carlos misses. Flandre misses. Last draw. That's a different 5. That's not exactly a safe tile, and yeah, Link does fold there.
I don't need to do anything silly. Just gonna fold.
That does put Carlos above
1500
Link,
for
though.
each. Yeah, so that is gonna be a 3,000 point gap between Carlos and Link now. Well, 2,000 because of the Reachy stick bet, right? Which can still be recovered by Carlos.
Right.
But that is exactly what Carlos wanted. So now currently in first place, leading over Link. So I think now the way for Carlos to get first is direct. Oh, somehow Link has to drop a rank. But Euphoria here does have a pretty nice hand. Double Yakuhai.
Yeah, so earlier on, we saw Euphoria have this 6 wind hand to open up. 2 pairs, 2 singles. And a lot of times you do think about going for the Yakuman there. Euphoria, this is kind of a case where you would think a lot about the Yakuman, but I think because 2 west tiles were discarded so early, Euphoria basically gave up on it and just wants a redeal.
I know, that's definitely very understandable. This is a pretty good 108 too, because you can get them by so many different ways. You can pawn, you can cheat.
Yeah, might even be able to make 40 fu for a few hundred more points as the dealer. Of course, I think after giving up west and north, #1 priority is just winning, because you're going to need a lot more points. Euphoria will need a lot more points either way.
Carlos is 108. Flandre is also 108. So really, everyone here is quite fast. Link is the only one who's currently 2 away.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Flandre is going to be willing to make a call here because of all the points they need, so we might see the green dragon pass even if it's the last one, but then again we might not. as we mentioned, there are prizes for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place, so might be a take what you can get type of situation for Flandre as well. Oh, the greens are coming out. We're going for the big points here.
Ooh, interesting. The turn 5 would be great, but unfortunately we already discarded the 4 of circles, so can we use it? Well, before it doesn't decide to keep it, just wants that extra points.
Yeah, might even be a single pair weight in the end. Just a tanki or a pair weight on a single 5-pin. Hoping to get another. Oh, never mind! Just draws
it! It finds the 5! 2 5 of bamboo weight now. Oh, this is really bad for Carlos, who's currently holding the 5, the red 5 of bamboo. Dealing that in would be equivalent to a dealer manga.
Yeah, that's a brutal spot. And he just drew another 6. Doesn't improve the shape of his hand, though. Too scared of the red 5, so perhaps that's a sign of things to come. Perhaps Carlos is not discarding that red 5 after all. It'll be hard to say, though, if he gets Tempai. It'll be hard to pass it up. Here's a Tempai now. Oh, and gets the tile immediately. That's a brutal turn of events for Ipa Furia. Right after drawing Tempai, Ipa Furia draws the deal in tile. Even though Ipa Furia has been sitting here Tempai for so long in their dealer turn. We are going into South 4. It's all last. Carlos 500 points behind, but Link ahead in this game, ahead in the overall scores. Flandre has got to go for something big. We might see a 13 Orphans attempt here. Ipa Furia on the left has got 4 pairs, but very hard for Ipa Furia to make it out here.
Carlos's hand, though, is developing quickly.
Yeah,
now drawing into 108.
A dealer Mangan.
Nice.
What a dealer Mangan. That's 12,000, then 4,000 from Link, leaving about a 15,000 point gap. It's like plus 15. It'd be interesting.
Okay, so there's a very nice 108 pickup here from Carlos because the 3, 6, 9 of circles will give him a 2 or maybe 3-sided or maybe 4-sided win.
It doesn't look like Dealer Mangan will be enough on its own, but of course if Carlos wins he's going to get another shot. Dealer Haneman should be enough.
But Dealer Mangan is not the cap for this hand. If we find something like a trio bamboo or like a native circles, this hand could be massive.
That's right, and even passes the call. This is not the greatest Ricci tile either. But Carlos has been known to go for fast Riccis a lot. This does really handicap the value of the hand, though. Yeah, Carlos is going to go for some more value here. Of course, Flandre has already pawned double south. Maybe content with 3rd place, looking to end it now. In a rare case, Flandre actually direct hits Carlos if Flandre can build up a little more value on the hand. And overtakes for 2nd place.
Yeah, that could be a way. There could be a way.
Yeah. So a lot of different arcs, a lot of different angles that these players have to this final hand. That's what Carlos was looking for.
That is the best weight for Carlos.
Big Furiten though in a lot of cases. Maybe just go for the 6-9 pin weight? Yeah, that's the one that's not Furiten.
Yeah, I think there's some debate about whether it's better to take the non-Furiten or is it better to take 3 or 4 or 5-sided? It's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, able to run here for Carlos. Ricci Pingfu, not Pingfu, Ricci possible all simples. So Atsumo could be huge here.
Yep, and we've seen Carlos pull Uradora before, so if there's any time to do it, this is a big one. Flandre trying not to deal in here, goes with the north. Here comes Dora's around the table. Interesting, Link willing to give up Dora, maybe because he had 2 copies of Dora. Figured it was safe enough, but if the Dora dealt in, that could have been pretty disastrous. Guess just didn't have any other safe tiles. Had to try something.
6-9 pin weight. Carlos find it. Flounder was considering cutting there the 9-man. I even made an emote, but decided against it. Now 2 away for Flounder.
Yeah, looks like Flandre
Right,
is stepping
Flandre.
back unless a chi is to be made here. Flandre really trying not to deal in, hoping probably that Carlos doesn't win here and it goes to draw so Flandre doesn't lose too many points. Or that if Carlos wins, it's a roan off somebody else. And Flandre can give it a shot later.
Yeah, Link is trying to get the standby. Carly's still 1 away.
Yeah, Link hasn't had too many safe tile options, so in lieu of that has just been trying to make Tempai to win themselves. This is interesting. It's not quite Tempai. Okay, Link's gonna go full safe with only 10 tiles left, just going to bank on Carlos not being able to draw it, and even if he draws it, Link would get another turn because the game wouldn't end since we'd have a dealer repeat. So Link is going to play the safe line and hope Carlos doesn't find one of those 2 remaining winning tiles. One more draw for Carlos, unless somebody calls.
There's still 2 tiles left in the wall. Where are they?
Not
Ooh.
there.
Carlos does not find it.
And there's the last
But
Dora.
Carlos will find,
You
however,
lost
the
it.
bonus points at the end for being the only one Tempai. 3,000 points, 1,000 from each player with 1,300 points up for grabs on the table for the next player who wins. Carlos on the first repeat of the final dealership of the entire tournament. This is going to be the decisive moment. Can Carlos make a hand here with what he's got? This is a very nice starting hand. Chance of pure double sequence, lots of things going for it.
This is where the math comes in, because now Mangan Sumo for Carlos is very close. It might be more, it might be less. It's extremely close. You gotta do the math on it, basically. And then the second part of that is a lot of tournaments, a lot of leagues use Kiriage Mangan, or a rounded up Mangan, where your 30 Fu and 4 Han becomes a Mangan, but not this tournament. This Catfood Bowl is not rounding up. So you have to be able to calculate. I know I've had it happen to me a couple times where I calculate a Mangan only to realize I got 30 Fu 4 Han and I actually got 7,700, or in this case 11,600, and the 400 extra points made me miss my goal.
Made the whole difference.
Yeah, so the 400 points might actually matter here, so Carlos has got to calculate exactly what gets him across the finish line. But to be fair, he's got to play another hand either way, so maybe the calculation isn't as important as I'm saying. In the meantime, Link has the green dragons to end the game. Flandre might not be super willing to give up that green dragon though, because if there's any path to Yakuman, I think Flandre is going to look for it.
Oh, there's also a chance now of half flush here for Flandre. Link does have the pair of the green dragons, does of course not need many points. He's currently 1 away. We'll see if Link is able to find that green dragon or just a Tempai somehow. That would be enough to shut it down.
That's right. Actually, Flandre cutting a 6-pin from inside the hand, not keeping 6-7. Is this a 7 pairs idea? If not,
7 pairs half flush would be a formidable hand, I think.
yeah. If like you still have the chance to go for big 3 dragons, Daisangen, but you also have this backup 7 pairs idea. Oh, but even so,
Wait,
drew the wrong
Carlos?
pair. Backfire pair.
We do have 1 away now for Carlos though. Pure double sequence, possible Tanya.
Yeah, if Carlos
Maybe
draws the
Pinfu.
4-pin first and gets Pinfu, this is easily a Mangan. Oh, this is a hard decision. There's a lot of 3s, a lot of 6s already gone.
Wow.
2 3s and a 6.
The discipline to not take it, does not take the Tempai, knowing that it would lose so many points.
Yeah, Carlos is looking for essentially a big hit right here, but you know, might end up regretting it. Yeah, this is a huge tempai, 3-sided. It's a lot of points. There's 2 red 5s in there for Ipa Furia. Flandre has so many of those tiles.
Does not have to deal in though. Can get tempai without dealing in.
Yeah.
This red dragon might actually give him the tempai.
Oh, but do you cut Dora here into Ricci into... Yeah, it doesn't want to discard Dora here. In fact, if Flandre goes back to 7 pairs, the 7 pin is going to deal in.
Tough spot here. Carlos, the one to find the tempai, does not find it yet. Just holding on to the dealership. The key to the victory.
Yeah.
Find it.
Oh, Dora at the worst spot. That's a very difficult decision. Can go with the 5 pin even. Oh, 7.
Ooh,
so that's
the
1
con
less
of the
tile.
7s. The Dora is now the 6 of bamboo. Ipafuria does have 1 in hand. That puts him at 3 Dora for possible Ricci, Pingfu, Tanya. Dora 3.
7 tiles left.
Flandre finds tempai.
Yeah. Gotta go for it, even though it's Dora.
Possible 3 concealed triplets. North and Redway, there's only 1 tile left to win. Only 1 north.
And only 1 more draw as well.
Oh, but Carlos finds tempai. And now tempai, 3-6 of bamboo. Only the 3 of bamboo to
3
win.
Oh,
Ipatsu! Ricci, Ipatsu, Tanya, pure double sequence with the con. Is it enough?
Flips 2
The half 2 under Dora. The 2 Dora is gonna make it a Hanuman. 18,000 points. Oh my goodness.
Yep, that's 22,000. That's almost 24,000, right? Yeah, 23,800. With the extra 10, Carlos is currently in the lead. Link has to make a comeback here now in order to defeat Carlos. So now Link has to be the one knocking out the calculator. Seeing just how many points are necessary in order to overtake Carlos. Dora 2 in hand. If Carlos collects. If Carlos gets this, it's almost as good as done. Dora 3, dealer Mangan on top of already having the lead. This would be a very hard comeback for Link to make if Carlos makes this.
A very wide 1-away here for Carlos. This hand is extremely valuable and so fast. Flandre is now tempai already though with this crazy hand.
Yeah, I think.
Oh my goodness.
I think Flandre is going to be looking for a full flush. I don't think this halfway state is going to be nearly enough.
The 3 of characters is
winning.
100 point sumo, but is that even enough? You can't.
No way.
You can't take it.
Yeah.
You can't win it
gosh.
because it doesn't change anything. We have this potential, this full flash. You can't take it.
Thumbs up the stream right now. Like the stream right now before it's over.
If that last hand was not deserving of your like, I don't know what will be, guys. Because this is the most hype. And I've been casting these for 4 years. This is the most hype finals I've ever seen.
Okay, this is a half flush, but I'm pretty sure Flandre is going to be looking for a full flush. Even half flush in Flandre's current point position. It would lock 3rd in, but 3rd is almost a complete lock anyway, considering Ipa Furia's current point position. Another sumo! Another sumo and another pass. Oh man, Flandre is being gifted the tiles, but not gifted enough points.
Still just looking for that win. Still looking for that upgrade. We're also trying to mount a hand here.
Carlos. Oh, here we go.
Oh my goodness, the tempai.
I didn't even calculate the weight, but this has to be tempai.
Yeah, this is Tempai. I think it's like a 147.
Yeah, 147.
Way too much.
Possible. Oh, it's just 1 and 4.
It's only 1-4. Wait, it's actually unwinnable.
Well, I
it's
mean,
finally- unless Link
yeah.
or someone discards it, it's just gonna fold.
One thing to note is the tips are not on. While we have tips as the spectators, our
We have tips as the commentators.
yeah, Flandre has to calculate this on their own. So the hopefully they didn't calculate 7 pin as a winning tile. To be fair, if it's not a winning tile, Mahjong Soul will not let you chombo. That's one of the bigger things that is scary when you draw this in real life, is you can chombo if you read it wrong. At the least, Flandre won't be able to chombo.
Who's gonna win this hand? Carlos is waiting on the 3-6 pen for this dealer manga and for 70,000 points.
Is there?
Oh, but the dealer could be so scary.
Is the 4 pin an Itsu, a full straight in addition?
Wait a second.
No, I don't think so.
Carlos.
There's too many 3s. Oh, this could switch it up.
Nope. Still gonna be waiting.
Yeah.
3-6.
I mean, all Carlos tiles are dangerous to Flandre anyway. Even though you know it's a full flush, like all Carlos had are dots. This is Dora, but probably feels like it's a flush. So more willing to discard Dora than any other dots.
So Carlos doesn't even have to win here. He could just fold if he's so desirous. I don't
but-
know if he's calculated the win.
But that's what I was saying, is all he has is dots. How none of
Yeah,
those
you're
are
right.
safe
How
tiles.
just fold here?
Here's another
goodness.
one. Fortunately for him, the 7 doesn't deal in, but if he goes with the 4 for some reason, that's the only one that deals in here. Like every discard
7?
from his hand was Tempai. 3, 4, other than 5. 5 is the only one that wasn't Tempai.
Tenpai.
Yeah, he maintains Tempai. It'll be interesting. I wonder if going no 10 might have been the play. I'm not sure what exactly the scores were. If Link was actually Tempai, would that have changed the score? Would it have been enough? It might not have been, because it's very close to the borderline. But
It's
Carlos
hard to
takes
say.
Tempai, yeah.
Ooh. Nice draws here. So at this point, a massive upset from Link has to happen, I think. But I think Flandre is still looking to come out on top over Link.
Here comes Flandre going for another Pinzu, another dot full flush. Collecting all the dots. Connect the dots. This one's going to be a lot harder than the previous one, though. The previous one, Flandre started with 10 dots in hand. This one only 6, 7, 8 now.
6, 7.
8 dots in
looking for
hand
that
now for Flandre. 9? Okay. And 2 Dora to boot. Maybe a half flush is enough if
Okay,
you
I
got
mean,
2 Dora.
this could be the half flush 7 pairs that,
Yeah.
that Flandre was trying to get earlier.
Probably no room to make a call, but the only thing is Carlos is getting more and more points. Can Flandre actually overtake Link? Is the question.
I think with the direct hit, definitely. Or even a
Yeah, in this game, but not in the overall scores, right? If Carlos does end up in
I mean,
first,
it would be a, I think direct hit Hanuman would be, 24 plus 20 point difference, so 44 point difference. I think it is enough. We'll see.
We'll have to
It's gonna be
see,
so
yeah.
close. There's a tempo here from Link. It's dangerous.
yeah,
Big
I
forward.
don't know if it's enough to get
Dora.
first though. Link is currently 26,000 points behind, almost 27,000, and with the point gap, that's 37,000, right? And overall, currently a little more than 27 ahead. So I think Mangan Sumo might do it. Is that a Mangan Sumo without reach? Oh, red 5 is
Oh,
definitely.
Hanyo Sumo Dora
think-
too.
Yep.
Wait, is this
It's
gonna be
not a
enough?
real Mangan, but there are Homba to make up the difference.
But is that gonna be enough though? We'll have to see.
Yeah, I can't
I don't know.
believe Link found the red 5 there.
Oh my goodness, this is
It's
so
a
close.
huge turn of events.
Carlos gets first, Link gets second, Flounder gets third with 11.2 negative, and Euphoria minus 57.6. We'll have to see what the scores are at the end. Wow, what a game!
That was a absolutely crazy game. All the way down to South 4. You know, all last really was only the beginning for that final game. There were chances for everyone to get it there, to get their win
Could have
condition.
been anyone's game.
Yep.
I guess we'll have to see it. Oh my goodness. Link with a huge comeback right there at the end might have been enough to overtake Carlos, though. Got those huge hands at the end. Might be enough to stay in first.
Yep.
I think he was leading it for a while there.
And so we are looking at just double checking, making sure everything is perfect, because of course we did have a little bit of a mistake in game 2, so just making sure that everything is good for game 3 here, because these are the finals. Okay, it seems to be locked in. We are pleased
What is
to
it gonna
announce
be?
the winner of the tournament. Congratulations, Link 18, the Mangan Sumo, drawing the red 5 of all tiles. The red 5 again with their signature Damaten Shadow Tenpai, sumoing the red 5 for the win there. Plus 70.7. Carlos ending up in second place after that huge dealer run at the very end. Plus 65.33. Third place, Flandre with a quarter, 0.25. Can take that with you. And unfortunately, Ipafuria did not have it happen in game number 3, minus 74.15. But a strong performance by all of our players. Only one winner though, and that is congratulations to our winner, Link 18. So we will see here now if Link is available for an interview. In the meantime, whew, that was one wild ride, Irie.
That really was. At the end there, didn't know who was gonna win in the end.
Yeah,
It's been amazing though, following the journey of these 4 competitors who have come up all the way here. We saw some amazing plays come and go. Some awesome plays from our top 100 to trickle down into the top 16, and then finally our top 4, Euphoria, Flandre, Link, and Carlos.
Big players with big points there. Man, that last hand was so crazy. I think we have a number of different questions we could really ask, but that last hand was just wild. The red 5 of all the tiles lands a huge win there. Woo. And even before that, you know, we had Flandre. The Dora curse just seemed to continue in a lot of cases. Like that last tile was won on a Dora, but before that, if you had 3 Dora in your hand, you were not winning. And the curse continued to caught a number of our players here. So looks like we do have quite a bit to talk about. We will see as we bring Link into the winner's circle. To the winner's circle. Hello, Link18. Congratulations on winning the Spring Bloom Catfood Bowl Minor. Check. Are you able to speak here?
We'll try to get our contestant here to on the line to talk to us about the playmaking decisions, because that was quite an exciting final match.
Oh man, this match truly was a battle. All right,
Hello?
let's. There you go. Hello,
Yo.
how are you doing?
You guys hear me?
I can hear you.
You guys hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me, man. Just feeling all sorts of emotions right now.
Yes, congratulations. You've
Thank
done
you.
it. You've made it to the end on a nail biter as well, right there. So my first question is, we really had a lot of different styles, especially in the top four. It felt like there was a balance of all kinds of styles of Mahjong. How did you feel about all the Mahjong, like all the styles of play from your opponents as well as yourself going into the top four?
So top four, I definitely took it like more defensively versus even in pools or from top 16 to top 8. I just figured since I'm top four, I took the safer route, but there were times where I needed to W key, and I guess I just got lucky in terms of which turns I took. I think all players played great. Ultimately, I think luck played a really good role on my side.
All right. So I think luck plays an interesting role in every Mahjong game, as you well know at this point. But
Yeah.
we noticed there was sort of a curse going on where if you drew Dora 3 or more in your opening hand, it didn't seem like anyone was able to win. We were watching his commentary. People had like Dora 3, Dora 4, 2 away, 1 away, and then they would get defeated by a 1 or 2 on hand somewhere else on the board, or a Ricci that didn't quite work. Did you notice that at all when you were playing?
Honestly, I don't remember most of the hands. But whenever like I see scary stuff like that happens, I either just fold or just end it with a simple one on hand.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Sometimes the best thing to do is to stop it or to get out of the way and hope somebody else takes the brunt of it. So, one thing a lot of chat wanted to know, I think you had one of the highest, no, you definitely had the highest silent tempai, Dama 10 rate of all the players, I think all the way through top 16. Never mind top 4, like definitely in top 4, but I think all the way even through top 16. Is that, I know you mentioned you played defensively, but is Dama 10 like something you think of a lot more personally?
Yeah, Dama is actually something that I usually do, even like playing, even in ranked. But for this though, I thought I did more Dama in top 4.
Yes. Yeah. We notice sometimes even when you don't have Yaku and you would miss wins, like you would still like,
Yeah.
it wouldn't matter, right? You Dama and then eventually you draw it sometimes, or sometimes you would Ricci. So with your thought process, is it just like if the weight's bad, I'll afford to miss a win to not put myself at risk out there?
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes I just don't want to get locked in where chances are low. So I just have options available, such as folding if I'm Rishi. So Dama essentially would be the safer option for most cases at least.
All right, and the last thing we want to ask before ending the interview is, are you coming back to the next Catfood Bowl?
For sure, man. This is my third one, and I intend to keep going.
All right, congratulations on being the winner of the 2026 Spring Bloom Catfood Bowl, and we hope you enjoy the prizes, the trophy, and all of your winnings. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
All right. So that was our winner. Link, well spoken and well played. Irie,
That was awesome.
you're back with us.
What-
Hello,
Yeah,
hello.
I mean, amazing to get that insight from our finalist, our grand champion of the Catfood Bowl Minor #SpringBloom. I'm sure you guys will be seeing some highlights from our winner in the upcoming days, so look out for that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're looking forward to seeing those recaps. We post them about the tournaments whenever we have them, and as well to find any other tournaments that we might have in the future or any other events. But yeah, here it is, the podium.
Link in first place, as mentioned, the grand champion. Capcom Carlos, second place. Flandre, the emote champion, in third place. But fourth place, we've got Ipa Furia, up and down, and unfortunately ended down. But still fourth out of all those players, out of all the scramblers, out of all of the top 100 who participated, as well as all those who entered. Congratulations to all these players who are at the very top. And we did mention, after the final game, we do have a surprise for you guys in chat. Here is the first surprise. Maybe this one's not as much of a surprise. Irie, what do we have?
We have another lucky draw, and we're going to be asking guys to just cheer on the winner, Link 18. Huge props, congratulations, and yeah, it's been awesome being in the series. I hope you guys enjoyed this last little gift from us here at the Yostar casting booth.
Yeah,
And I
give
hope you
us your
guys
best
have enjoyed.
message. Give us your best message for Link in the chat. What do you want to say to our Catfood Bowl winner? This is your chance. The floor is open. We will pick the best response. So make sure we can actually tell them, because if you say something mean, if you say something inappropriate,
Oh,
we're not
they
gonna
won't.
pass that message on. All right.
It's okay. They're playing. They have enjoyed the stream, have loved the matches, right, guys? Everyone liked the stream. Everyone listened to the interview. Link was such a nice player. I'm sure everyone will be happy to congratulate the winner, who so kindly shared their insight and their wisdom about what led them to winning the damas, the plays of defense. Ooh.
Gotten some time to relax a bit. I want to tell Link he's opened my eyes to silent tempai. Opened my eyes to closing my eyes.
I close my eyes and run it.
Oh man, this was such a good set of games here. It looks like we have a lot of messages, so Irie, why don't you go ahead and pick out our winner?
And it looks like it's gonna be Senor Bones, the Damatan legend, GG Link. Senor Bones, thank you for our message. Thank you for your message. The Damatan legend shall become Link's your moniker. Maybe. It is fitting though. It is fitting. They won the entire tournament on those damas, and with the last dama, won it all in style.
Yeah, that red 5 showing up at the red time to collect the red victory. Maybe not the red, but the victory nonetheless.
It was definitely a lucky fortune charm that Link found, and just like Link found the win, that fortune, so too will Cinnabones. If you send a message to mjs.cs@yostar.com with a screenshot of your profile and of your winning, I'm sure they will help you out and get you the fortune charm for 30 days. But hold on, I'm hearing that there's still more.
Oh, don't forget, it is the same gift code, but just as a reminder, if you have not used it yet, if you lost it, if you're just forgetful, it expires tomorrow. So EESQSXTMADAH. Go on your browser client, go to this cog for settings, click the others tab, and then click the gift code button there and type it in to see what you win. Now,
That's right.
that you might have expected. What you may not have expected is
Wait, really?
new characters are coming to Mahjong Soul. I believe
That's
you
right.
may have seen this one before, if you're paying close attention.
So Mia will be joining us. Oh, so you're one of my fans too? Well, in that case, here's a special ticket for you. Make sure you're in the front row for my next performance, okay?
Yes.
So Mia will be joining us.
This, you may have seen her. You may have seen her in a stream somewhere in Mahjong Soul. You may have seen characters gifting cat sofas, taiyaki, other things from the previous event. She will be a playable character if you summon her to your Mahjong dorm. In addition, look who it is. Irie, who do we have here?
We also have Jean Wu. Sorry to bother you. My name is Jean Wu. Would you happen to know the way to Awatsuya Middle School? So Jean Wu is going to be joining us as well on Mahjong Soul. You'll be able to pick her up in the summon soon. Joining us in Mahjong Soul. So keep an eye out for her as well.
More news will be made available about these characters, so make sure to follow the Mahjong Soul social media, the YouTube channel, the Twitter, or rather X now, and even the Facebook for more information about these new characters. We also have new skins coming. We cannot reveal everything about them yet, but this is a pretty interesting sneak peek as to what they might look like. I think they'll be very decadent and luxurious here.
Ooh, those are interesting. Kind of reminds me of a certain character.
You can make your guesses as to who it might be.
Maybe a certain wolf? No, it couldn't be, right?
I have no idea. There is a lot of fur, it looks like, at the bottom of that outfit. Maybe it's a coat, maybe it's a cloak. I wonder. But there's a new event coming, so more news will be available. Make sure to follow. Well, the Catfood Bowl Spring Bloom is coming to a close. We are closing up the Spring Bloom in order for spring to bloom in real life, so it's not so cold anymore, I think. And I think with an ending like that, spring shouldn't be too far away, right? Of course, we would like to give a thanks to everyone who's been a part of this event here. We want to thank everyone who's helped out. Let's get Tenhote back in here. Tenhote, who's been on stream with us over the course of this weekend. How you doing?
Man, what a finish. And oh boy, those new characters look really cool. I'm super excited for the new skins and the new event, which is going to be dropping soon. So look forward to all of that. Super excited for what's coming next on Mahjong Soul. But of course, happy to be here with my co-commentators. Guys, take it away.
That's right. We have, for Reach Mahjong of New York, our executive producer, Luke Morgan, a member of the Saikoisen Japan Pro Mahjong Association and webmaster at iPlayRichi.com, for learning resources and other interesting tidbits. I am the producer and MC of the stream here, Tips and Tricks, alongside my co-commentators and streamers, Irene TV and Tenhote. Tenhote has also been doing a bunch of work on the staff and event management in the back there. And of course, we've got the pet runoff, Ridley, Jack, Roger, Charlie, Ray, Winston, Sonny, Bishop, Peppercorn, Giles, Kiki, Yuffie, Jake, Donnie, Finn, the cat that used to live at Konada's, Nui, Lucy, Pietra, Yuma, Nemo, Hazel, Sausage, Dusty, Digger, Katya, Kotiak, Deuce, Tips as Fish, Hazelnut, Samson, Ezekiel, Funny Pet, The Night Market Cat, Leia, Luke, Ren, Chico, Candy, Frodo, Misha, Samus, Winnie, Ricci. We want to thank the developer Catfood Studios and publisher Yostar of this great game, and of course everyone at home. We want to thank all of you for watching, liking, and supporting Mahjong Soul for today and for the years to come. So that is us here from all of us at the booth. For Yostar and Richie Mahjong in New York, I've been Tips and Tricks. We have Irie. Bye-bye, Irie.
Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you.
And Tenhote. Bye-bye, Tenhote.
Bye-bye, everybody. Have a good night or morning or whatever it is for you. See ya.
It's been a good tournament. See ya, everyone.